As you know, from the beginning up until now, it was a little bit rough road, but the Most High guided us through it and directed us through it. So it's beautiful to see everybody here, okay? We know sometimes that it's a rough deal. You got to take a plane or a train or a bus. We know money's involved and finances involved, okay? But you got to remember, the Most High want to see your faith. Remember, through trials and tribulation, we're going to make it through, okay? So, to the kingdom. So, the Most High looks at you and says, okay, this brother can make it to this and can get through this. Then the Most High looks at you and begins to bless you. And remember, the grace and mercy of the Yahushua is upon us. So, we know sometimes finances get involved, and some of you can't make it, you want to make it, but you can't make it, and we understand that. But thank the Most High, Yasharahla, everybody arrives safely. Okay, so we always pray for that. We always pray when we do the summits that everybody arrives safely. Okay, so let's give the Most High, Yasharahla, for that, that you're able to make it. Okay, and so I just want to thank, we have the Light of Zion. The Light of Zion is the one who's putting on this 14th Masharah Summit. We have the Light of Zion, we have Shalimar, and we have Kahan. Okay, they're the leaders of the Light of Zion, and they're the ones that are putting on this beautiful summit. As you know, it's a 4-day event. The event went from Thursday, we had the meet and greet. Friday, we had the camp speaking, mostly all at the camp. Was everybody at the camp yesterday? At the speaking, it was beautiful, right? So, and then today is the summit, okay? And then tomorrow is the family day barbecue. That's how we normally do every summit, okay, Kun? So, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. We also have a concert, correct? Yeah, we have the concert also tonight after the summit. Concert, and I got to say this, that the Light of Zion, who's hosting this 14th summit, put on the concert last time at the 8th summit, I believe, and that went very well. Some of you might have remembered that went very well. So it's going to be a little concert after the summit tonight, okay, Con? And so I just want to give the Light of Zion a round of applause for putting on this 14th summit. And look, I'm going to tell you, a lot of money goes involved. You know, in this society, you can do nothing without money. Nothing. Okay, so when we ask for a donation and so forth, it goes towards what? Towards the summit. It goes towards getting the food, and yeah, all the events. Towards getting the food, getting the facilities, okay, towards everything. Okay, Con? So a lot of money goes into it. These brothers and the camp, they put up a lot of money. The Masharah, Yasharahla, we put in a lot of money for it just so we can have the summit and so that we can congregate, like the Most High said, forsake not the coming together in unity. Come? He said, don't forsake that. So, yeah, so everything takes money. But that's the sacrifice, right? The Most High said, we're going to have to make some sacrifice in this. Okay? He said, become a living sacrifice. So this is what we have to do to bring it forth. And he said to labor to bring forth. So it takes labor. Okay, come? So we have at the Masharah, okay, the council that we developed from the first summit all the way up until this 14th summit. The Spirit showed us as we went along to develop and structure the Masharah. And so we developed the council here, okay, of brothers who have tenure in the truth. Most of these brothers are over 30 years in the truth. Okay, most of them are over 30 years. They have tenure, and they didn't look back. Once the Most High brought them in, they stayed diligent, vigilant, and steady in the truth and work and service of the Most High. Come? They stayed diligent. They didn't take a sabbatical. They didn't take 3, 5, 10 years off. There's no such thing. Okay? How you going to take 10 years off and you are an Israelite? You can't take 10 years off your nationality, can you? You're born that way. So these brothers were diligent. That's what the Most High showed us to do, to find brothers to set up the council who are diligent and vigilant and who stayed steady throughout the years. Okay, come? And we're also going to say this, that some of you brothers, we also have an officers' council also. Okay? We have an officers' council also. And those brothers are diligent and vigilant also. But I want to say this, that a lot of you brothers okay, that are in the camps, various camps that are here, you're going to be part of the Masharah Yasharahla also. Okay, come? And you're going to be part of officership. You're going to be part of it. Because why? You got to serve and you got to labor to bring forth this nation and to build this structure and build this government like the Most High teaches us. Everybody's going to get involved. From the greatest to the least, from the least to the greatest, everybody's going to get involved in this building process. Okay, everybody. Okay, and then we're going to have Esau, the devil, going to be our slaves. That's right. He's going to get involved too. Everybody get involved. Yeah, a seat at the table is for him in slavery. He's going to have a seat. But, yeah, we're not discriminating none of nobody, right? None of these nations, okay? Chinese, Japanese too. Okay, all the nations. But nonetheless, it's beautiful. So we love you, brothers and sisters. You keep coming to the Masharah Summit. We love everybody here, okay? And that's what this is about. It's about love, unity, brotherhood, courtesy, hospitality, coming together, bearing one another's burdens. This is what it's all about, brother. This is the commandment of Yahushua. See, we come on one stage when you come in, you learn the scriptures, laws, and statutes, commandments, but you've got to come to the next stage is what? Brotherhood, unity, okay? We got to come on different levels in this, and this is what the Yahushua is showing us. That unity is very special, brother. And brother is very special. Without it, you have nothing. You can't build a nation without brotherhood and unity. Okay? What is the white man, the first thing he does when he want to come against you? He come together, don't he? They have different schisms and different divisions in their organizations, Democrat against Republican and so forth. But when it comes time to come against you, they come together, don't they? And they'll sign a penal code, they'll sign something in the Constitution, just so they can go against you. Okay? And so the other nations do the same thing. They have their own divisions within their people. But when it comes time to come against you as a nation, they all come together. So we got to do the same thing. Understand? So what's stopping us? Ourselves. What's stopping us? Ourselves. The white man ain't stopping you from coming together. He's not. You're stopping yourselves. Other nation ain't stopping you from coming together. You stop yourself. So we're stopping ourselves from this. So that's why we got to understand what Yahushua is teaching us in the New Testament. To come together. Don't forsake to come together in unity. Don't do that, brother. Okay? So all this, I'm an individual and I'm isolating myself and I'm separate and I'm better than you. My camp is better than you and I know more than you. No, you don't. You don't know a damn thing. Any man that think himself to be something when he ain't nothing deceiveth his own self. That's what Scripture says. So you deceive yourself. So we got to come on higher levels. So again, let's thank the Most High Yahweh for that. And so I just want to introduce the council here at the Masharah. All of the brothers can stand up for a few seconds. I just want to introduce the council. Okay? You can stand up for a few seconds. And we always do it at every summit, but just so you can get familiarized with the brothers on this council, and some of you brothers are going to be on this council. And later on, the head of the officers' council will introduce the officers, Yakanan. Okay? And so the Most High showed us in the first summit that we had in D.C., we didn't have it. We didn't really have a council. We didn't call it a summit. We called it a conference. Okay? But after that, the Most High began to show us by like around the third summit, we got to structure this thing a little bit better. And so the Spirit of the Most High, Yahushua, was working. So we said we need brothers to structure this, and we got to form a council. Because without a council, what does Scripture say? You can't do anything. See, once you go up, before you go to battle, you must counsel first. Okay, and then make war. Okay, so we didn't have a council. So we said, who's going to be on that council? And so the Spirit showed us brothers who've been in the truth, have tenure in the truth, and they remain diligent in it. So we found these brothers, the Spirit of Yahushua found these brothers, okay? And these brothers have been in truth a long time. So we're going to start from the right, and we got Priest Kahan. Y'all know Priest Kahan, all right, from the Light of Zion. And Priest Kahan is over the priest department for the Masharah Yasharahla. Khan? He's the priesthood, the priest department for the Masharah Yasharahla. And he's going to speak to you concerning that department. Okay, Khan? That's Priest Kahan. Then we got Bun Yum Yum. Okay, everybody know Bun Yum Yum, the House of David in Brooklyn, New York? Bunyan, been in truth over 30 years. All right, remain diligent, intelligent in the scriptures and everything. Okay, Bunyan is over the Treasury Department of the Masharah, Yasharahla. Gun, he's over that department, because you got to have a Treasury Department, okay, when you set up a nation. So Bunyan is over that department. He's going to speak on that department. Okay, Gun? Okay. Then we have Ash, Elder Ash. Give Ash a round of applause. And Ash been in truth for a long time. Former military man, everything. And Ash is over the military department and security department of the Masharah, Yasharahla. Gun? And Ash is very intelligent, been in truth for a long time. And the Most High is with him, okay, in this truth. And he remained diligent over the years. Remaining diligent. Over 30 years he's been in truth. So Ash is over the military department and the security department of the Masharah. He's going to speak to you concerning that department. Con? Okay. And then next is Elder Zaquan. Okay? Elder Zaquan from Yahweh's camp. Okay? From Yahweh's camp in North Carolina. Elder Zaquan been in truth over 31 years. Okay? And he's very intelligent. The brother is a recorder. He's a scribe. He's a writer. Got several books out in the market. You might have seen some of his book. Got about 6 books on the market. Barnes and Nobles, all the bookstores and all the bookstores. Okay, his brother does speaking engagements, all right, because his books are very good. So he is the national recorder and scribe for the Masharah, Yasharahla. Come? Okay. And so, as you know, when you read the scriptures, even when King David was setting up his kingdom, he had what? He had the priesthood, he had a scribe, he had a recorder. So you need someone that can record everything. He records everything that we set up in the council and everything. So that's Elder Zaquan of Yahweh's camp in North Carolina. And he's going to speak to you concerning the scribe department. Okay, Okay, then next is Karash, Elder Karash. Now Karash been in truth over 30 years too. I can remember way back in the 80s, brother. This brother was there, okay? And he's intelligent. He knows history like the back of his hand, okay? He's very intelligent. He's also a councilman. You need counseling. He can counsel you. Been in truth for a long time. And he's part of Mount Zion in San Diego. Where is it?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Okay? Part of Mount Zion and Las Vegas. If you remember old Mount Zion back in the 80s and 90s, well, they just brought it forward and brought it up to date. And now you got the new Mount Zion, okay, in Las Vegas. And so he's part of that camp, in Mount Zion camp. And he's part of the history department and also the counseling department of the Masharah Yasharahla. Come? All right, that's Elder Karash. So give Karash a hand. And then we have Yasharahla from the house of David. Yasharahla been in truth for a long time in the house of David. And now, Yasharahla got unique special talents. This brother knows the Hebrew, he's an expert in Hebrew. As you can see, he read the Hebrew on the Shabbat service. He was the first one to read the Hebrew because he's an expert. The brother, hold up your book, Yasharahla. Yeah. Brother wrote this book. Okay? He wrote this book in Hebrew. Old Testament and New Testament. He's so very well versed in the Hebrew, the so-called Jew took his book and now selling his book for thousands of dollars. They don't give him none of the money. Right. Okay, but that's how evil they are, right? But they took his book and selling his book now that he wrote for thousands of dollars. So that's a good work. See, so I'm going to show you the Most High got different talents coming together to build it together. So Yasharahla, part of the house of David in Brooklyn, and he's very talented, an expert in Hebrew, and he's part of that department, and also part of the priest department also, okay, the Levite. And so he's going to teach you and talk to you about the Hebrew. Okay, Con? All right. You can't be a nation unless you have a language. Con? All nations have a language. So what is your language? It ain't English. Okay, you know that. It ain't Spanish. Okay, you know that. So it's Hebrew. And so he's going to talk to you about that. Okay, that's Yasharahla. All right, next. Here he is. the man of the hour, okay? Straight from Jamaica. He part of the House of David in Jamaica and built up Jamaica for over 10 years. This is Masharah, okay? Most of you know him already, you can see him all over the social media. But that was his job. We gave him that job, to be on social media. And most of you are coming to the summits because of the brother Masharah, who's over the correspondence department of the Masharah. We give him that authority to go on social media to contact you. And so to bring you forward. And some of you say, where's Matata? What was his name? Masharah. Okay? That's Matthew in Hebrew, that's all. So Masharah is over the correspondence and straight from Jamaica, brother. And Jamaica, we have Jamaica. Cross is down there in Jamaica now too. They were just able to get a brand new school, and Jamaica is with us, brother. Okay, Jamaica is with us. Yeah. So that's Masharah right there. He built up Jamaica for a long time. Then the Spirit showed him to come to America and come to the House of David, and he's been part of the school of the House of David for a long time. But so you can understand, Masharah is also our international correspondent. Goes to Mount Zion. We've been to Mount Zion about 5, 6, 7 times, right, brother? And so he goes there and he corresponds with the brothers that are in Mount Zion now. You got brothers there now, okay? That are part of the Masharah in Zion, in Jerusalem, and he corresponds with them. Come? So the work is going on through the Spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. It's going on, okay? And we're about to build this thing to a level now, to a nationalistic level. That's what Yahushua wants to do. So that's Masharah. Give Masharah. And an applause. The correspondence of the Masharah. And then we have Mr. Shalimar from the Light of Zion. This Shalimar hand. Shalimar and Priest Kahan are part of Light of Zion. Again, they're the ones that are putting this Masharah Summit together, okay? Hosted by the Masharah, but as always, we always go to the city. Wherever we go, we try to find a particular camp there, or that's willing to host a summit, come, and then put it forward. And then the Masharah comes there and we put forth a summit. So whatever city it is. So we're gonna have another summit, okay, sometime in July. And we're going to go to that city, and again, we're going to have another summit. But Shalimar and Kahan, who the leaders over the Light of Zion, they put together the summit, and I thank the Most High, these brothers, okay, for doing it. Now, Shalimar, very intelligent, highly intelligent, and you brothers of the Light of Zion are blessed to have Shalimar in your school. Shalimar is part of the council department, okay, of the Masharah. Okay, Khan? And he's a good counselor, very excellent. So when you need counseling, the brother is very intelligent and comes straight from the Spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. Khan? Been in the truth for a long time, over 30 years. This is Shalimar. Okay? Very intelligent. Okay? And so, Masharah.
Yeah, shalom. You hear him? We have 3 more brothers to mention. We have 2 brothers part of the council, which is Farzan and Nathaniel. They migrate to Turkey. So when Barak mentioned we correspond all over the world, now we have these 2 brothers. They moved to Asia like what, 2 years now? Hold on. A year? But they were over there for Passover last year. All right, so they migrated to Turkey back in 8 months, which is Farzal and Elder Nathaniel, who in charge of the Torah. So we have to mention them too. And they've been in the truth. I know Nate was there in the 80s. Nathaniel was in the 80s, and Farzal came in the 90s. And then we have Elder Barak. He's in there from 1984, brothers and sisters. That's Moses was still crossing the Red Sea there, right? So, give him a round of applause. Because to even be in the truth from 84, just imagine the experience. In the 80s on the street in New York calling the white man the devil. Just imagine that. So it's from the 80s, the 90s, 2000, now they say it's 2020, so that's great achievement for him to continue this long. Ash is here from the 80s too. Ben is 80s, Harash is 80s. So even for us, that's great experience. Can? So just give these elders a round of applause again. And Barack's position is, he speaks of the house. Like every government, you have different representative, and that's his gift. And you might speak long sometimes, brothers and sisters. You understand me? But this is what the government is about too. You understand? The different brothers with different attributes, different functioning. So you have a lot of brothers trying their best for this not to work. Yeah. But it ain't gonna happen, brothers, because this is gonna work. Can? And we're happy for the support and everything. So we're going to move and go off into the summit now, right? Right.
So we're gonna go from right to left. The first speaker is Kahan, and Kahan gonna tell you. Okay, we can see if you want to stand, Kahan, and Kahan gonna tell you about the priest department. So give Priest Kahan.
Shalom. Alright, so to give the most high, Masharah, you know, we thank you for getting everyone here safe and sound. So, you know, we have the different departments that we're speaking of. You know, the priest department plays a heavy role within all the captivities of Israel. The priests were the mediators between the Most High and the nation of Israel. So now that we're in our captivity, it is a big responsibility of the priests to make sure, you know, Israel is following the footsteps or the direction of the Most High, right? To bring forth the law, to be the caretakers of Israel. So as you know, many people here that may be present now that have gotten letters from me to get off on the Sabbath, we provide that. You're being harassed on your job for shaving your beard, we have letters for that. We send out letters for immunization shots. If you want to exempt your child from getting immunization shots, we have letters for that as well. For the women that are being forced to wear pants on their job, we have letters for that as well. So all these things as a nation, the priests, it is our job to make sure that our people uphold the Lord's set of commandments of the highest level, right? So where's Brother Hebrew? Okay. So we have really Hebrew. We have Father Salah is also part of the priest department, and they're helping us. We had a invitation-only discussion on Friday, and the main topic was the lunar Sabbath. So this is something that, you know, we've been planning for a long time. We finally, you know, got people to sit down, and we heard information from both sides concerning lunar Sabbath and the traditional Friday and Saturday sundown. So a lot of people were fortunate to take part in that discussion. So, you know, brother's going to take that information home, and hopefully, you know, our intention was to, I was hoping that we would come in one accord that day, but, you know, once you're in something for a while, it may have to, you know, the Spirit of the Most High have to be on you to just concede to the Spirit of the Most High with information. So the information's out there, but I think that was a milestone because we've been planning to deal with a topic for a long time, and we finally got the chance to really break bread. And, you know, we're here of different understanding, different backgrounds. You know, you have, you know, Old Testament, you know, those believing in Masharah, and we're dwelling in one place because ultimately the Most High is calling back the whole nation of 12 tribes of Israel. And that's the intention, to call back the 12 tribes. So we got to know that these are the last days. We had ancestors that looked for this day, but we're actually in that time. Right? We're in that time where our salvation is near. Okay, so it's important that we get our houses in order, get ourselves right, okay, that we are able to be part of that 1/3. Okay, the government, you know, we have our differences, but ultimately our main goal is to make sure this nation is running in order. There's a lot of issues social issues that we got to deal with, and we have to, as leaders in this government, we have to deal with those issues. A lot of things, a lot of you know what's going on in the social media, you know, within the nation. So these are the type of things that we have to deal with. Right, so the police department, if you are looking to get a prison ministry set up in your state, okay, you can give me a call, show you how to get it set up. We have an active prison ministry right now, right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. If you have a family member or a friend, someone that you know that's incarcerated in Broward County, you can contact us and we can get visitation rights to go see that person. Right? We have the clothes drive, we have hospital visitation. So all these things that you should have, in your communities, right? Helping like an outreach to help the nation. That's part of the priesthood department. So again, if you need any of these letters that you need for your household to protect you, the laws and commandments of the Most High, just reach out to Masharah Yasharahla, and we will assist. Shalom.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. I would like to go to a few scriptures. I want to go through Judges, the 3rd chapter and the 2nd verse. It said, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at least such as before knew nothing thereof. Now I want to go to Proverbs, the 20th chapter and the 29th verse. It says, the glory of young men is their strength. So my name is Eldar, the council of the training program and the discipline program and the military and the security. And our concern is you young brothers. Now I see a lot of young brothers in here. Come. Each summit we train on Sunday, and we'd like to see a lot of you young brothers come out. Now I want to go into a little history. Shalimar earlier, before we closed out, was going into the cadence. The cadence came from the early 90s. It was called the Trooper Program, back at 125th Street. The Trooper Program was started, but I always give credit to a brother that's resting in peace now, that took the Trooper Program to a whole nother level with the margin and the cadence that Shalimar was chanting to you all. And that brother is the guy by the name of Ariala. I always give the respect out and honor to him because he took the program on a whole nother level. And he took the young men. It's different than how you see it today. You may come into camp, go out to the camp, and you might not even go through a program. But back then, you had to be in the program from 5 in the morning until about 7, 8 at night. And then you pray that it don't be a council, because you won't get out of council about 3 in the morning. Okay, so the work was put in. Now, this whole training for the security and the discipline program, okay, and the discipline program, now, would it get you salvation? Would it get you salvation? No. No. Is it good to know? Yes. Okay, you can come Sunday and learn a few techniques and you can walk out and use it right away. But it cannot get you salvation. Okay, so we're looking for the young men to come on Sunday, I believe at 7 o'clock, every summit that we have. Okay, you will learn weaponry techniques, all types of techniques. And I see a lot of camps, the structure that they're set up in every city, it came from 125th Street. Whether they watch it on YouTube, say, hey, let me just set up a camp. The idea and the beginning of their structure, it came from 125. And all the older officers, all the older generals that set up their military program, it came out of that One West Trooper program. And we have a program at the House of David. It's called the Steward Program. Okay? So what we call in this program is the training program to teach you discipline, to educate you on certain techniques. And when you go out to camp, you're going out to camp, you're not just going out just to set your signs up and to set up and hold posts with a staff. There's a lot of things that you got to check out when you get to your areas, especially if your back is out and your back is open. There's a lot of things. You have to look up at the buildings and so forth. You have to inspect and investigate your surroundings. And when you start teaching, first, you have to put one of the loudmouth teachers, the first speaker, to clear all them demons and spirits out of that area because they're waiting on you. Okay, and then from there, then you can start, setting up your teachers and so forth. and then bring the fruit and bring the crowd and bring the people. But you have to clear that area of all spirits, all negative, and all demons, and search the buildings and search your surroundings. Okay, let me finish Proverbs 20:29. It said, the glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head. Now remember the scriptures when the general Joab, I believe he met the Benjamite Abner. They both military men. They always refer to the young men. Joab said, hey, let's let the young men play. You heard that scripture, right? And the young men grabbed one another by their beard and they stuck one another with their swords. That means let's let the young men get down. Okay, they are trained in military warfare. Let's see them get down. Okay, and David always referred and dealt with young men. He sent the young men on missions. Okay, but young men here is going to be sent on righteous missions to get this word out. Okay, my name is Elder Arch, and to give you more information, I want to call up the senior security and the senior Captain Yasharahla, and he's going to explain and go more to
And the president, because Arch mentioned, he said training can't save you, but we have to understand, as a military force, every nation has a military, okay? So that military is the first thing. That's what really designs a nation. Your military is your nation. And then, of course, the rest of the folk and the rest of the people within the nation. But your military is what protects the nation from outside enemies and so forth. So we need that. We need that military set up, that security force set up. Okay? Best military on earth was King David's military. And then it went to Solomon. Okay? Greatest military nation on earth. Esau copies his military off of what we did in ancient times. So it's very highly important. We're going to need brothers in part of that military training and part of the military as we go forward. Because why? We're going to have outside forces that are going to try us. They will try us. As you can see now, the black woman's being snatched off the street. Your young daughters are being snatched. Your children are being snatched. So we need that military. So it's highly important. Okay, Yasharahla.
Now, let me say something. I always give respect, like I mentioned before, to the brother that took the trooper program at One West to the next level. That brother, as I say, was rest in peace. His name was Yasharahla, and I want to acknowledge his son. His son is here, Kazaki. The brother was raising his hand. I want to acknowledge him. I would say Yasharahla, Kawakar, and Masharah.
Stand up, Kazaki.
That's Ariana's son. Yeah. Look just like him, too.
So those three brothers, Yasharahla, Masharah, and Kawakar, took the whole program. The program was already there, but and Zionala. But Yasharahla was one of the first that did all the traveling, setting up camps in New Mexico, Texas, California. He was traveling way before, setting up communities and camps and military programs. And I always give him respect. Okay, he, Masharah, Kawakar, and Zionala. Okay, those are Yasharahla's fruit. Rest in peace.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, I'm just going to get right into it. Again, we're looking forward to the Akim that are willing. Again, you have a willing spirit that you want to come out. What we're looking for is not only brothers that are willing, but have a specific skill set that is really needed in our nation. And we're not just talking about physically. We're talking about if you have a discipline about yourself. Because we know physical analogies convey spiritual truths. So we know physical exercise only profits us a little bit, but it does still profit. So we still have to have a certain discipline. If some of you Akim are trained in any type of medical field, you know, CPR, all these things we learn, because even when you're in camp and just as a nation, you want to be able to take care of your brother. You want to be able to teach your wives and even your children. You don't want Esau running out there on the ambulance. You don't know what he got in his syringe and then come putting his mouth on your wife and all that nonsense. These are things that we need to learn. And we need to bring, you know, you're a knocked out prophet and now you got Esau. You've been calling him the devil all day. Now he's breathing into you. All right? So these are some of the things that we got to consider. So we want you to come on out Again, if you're scared, don't come. Stay at home. The scripture tells us about that. But I just want to say, if you got that type of skill set, any medically trained or anything like that, we're going to be going into some of that. One of the captains, again, military trained, Tazadak, Shah Tazadak, Captain Tazadak. He's also a senior facilitator. He's over there in the corner. He don't want to be acknowledged, but he's over there. Y'all see him, but then he went out the door. All praise. Stealth mode, all praise. But 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Oswald Park, 2220 Northwest 21st Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Here's the zip, 33311. I believe this address is in the Eventbrite.
That's the same location for the family day.
Same location for the family day. So 7 a.m. And we're just going to go through a little introduction to the boot camp. We're coming up on our 8th boot camp. So this is our 8th. I'm not talking about what we're showing you here. We actually have a 3 to 4 day training program that's been going on consistently. We've been in California, been in the mountains of California. We've been in the woods of North Carolina, and we go all over. So, high terrain, low terrain. There's skill sets that we're learning, and more importantly, is teaching us that Psalms 133. You don't know your brother till you labor with him. You don't really know your brother till you get into the trenches. And it's not a spirit of competition, it's a brotherhood. We know that's where the anointing is. So when we come together and then we help one another, it's no man left behind. I know Esau say that all the day, and he leave dead bodies everywhere, even of his own people. But that's not what we're talking about. We're teaching unity in the spirit of Yahweh while Yahweh Shah. And we hope to see you out there. And with that, I say shalom.
Yeah, shalom, shalom. As Yakanan say too, even on many of our journeys to Israel, Tazadak is our main security advisor. He's on those trips too. He hides from the camera, likewise he outside now. But even then, he'll sieve the area out and he'll say movements. He dictate what move we make and all that. So even by traveling, we do that with him also. Because everywhere we go, we over there, they call Israel the state of Israel. For what purpose? You know that everybody have to join the military, man? I go over there and see midgets, white midgets, with AK, man. And that's how we should feel about ourselves, man. Who mentioned woman getting picked up off the street, the little girl and all that stuff? Brothers, we have to think warlike again, man. You understand me? That's something that we have to do. Right? Go ahead, bro.
All right, so the next brother, right, to tell you about his department is Elder Zaquan.
All praise to the Most High. I'll make this real quick. Make this real quick for you, brother. It's 1 Corinthians 14:40. It says, let all things be done in decency and in order. So I'm going to go a little bit back, starting my pantry program I created in 2017. It's a program that I have that I give out shampoo, soap, toothbrush, toilet paper, pens, anything I get my hands on is free. Anything I don't ask me how I get it, okay? But anything I get my hands on, I take advantage while I can. It doesn't cost nobody nothing so far. I have actually mailed 182 boxes. Some of y'all got a little slick. Some of y'all broke down 2 different addresses, but you gave the same place. I'm on to that now, y'all. All right, I'm on to that. Okay, I sent one brother about 8 different boxes, man. Come to find out, it's the same address. All right, don't worry about it. All praise to the Most High, brother. You enjoy that soap. All right, obviously you needed it, so okay, so yeah, he should have enough for at least about a year. So the only thing that I require, give me a address, okay? I don't care where it's at. The last time I was here, I actually introduced it and I only got a couple of people. Trust me, I can't do nothing with your address. I can't travel to 5 different states or 6 different states. What am I gonna do with your address? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Show up to your door and say, hey, shalom, Mark. What am I gonna do with your address? Right. So if you give me your address, or just give me a working address, If you don't, I mean, look, if you don't, this is all for y'all. I mean, it costs you nothing. I don't want nothing. All the postal expenses is on me, all right? Because I know through charity, that's how I get my blessings. I ain't no fool, brother. You understand what I'm trying to say? I ain't crazy, man. So I know I can give as much. When I get it, y'all get it. Ask the brothers in my camp. So if you don't want to give your address, that's going to just be more for us. Ain't that right, y'all? All right, so my thing is this. Just meet me afterwards and just give your address where you want the stuff to be sent. And I'll send it to you. It's not hard. It's not complicated. All right? Just give me your address, and I'll just send out the stuff to you. Pens, pencils, toothbrush. Whatever you need, whatever you want, I'll send it to you. If you need 1 box, 2 boxes, I'll send it to you. It's not a problem. I don't have no ulterior motive. I'm not going to ask you.
Jamaica?
Right, Jamaica too. Yeah, I asked you about that before. Back in Hurricane, you said Jamaica all right. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, all right. So, like I said, just give me your address, where you want the stuff sent. It's not a problem. I don't have no ulterior motive. I'm not gonna get on TV and throw out your address. No ulterior motive. This is just a free service that I provide from me to Israel. That's it. Okay, that's all. That's all you have to do. Anybody got a question? Yeah, Ben. Please put your slave name. The same name that. Good point. The same name that your that you get your bill in when that electric bill comes to Zakia. Put your slave name. Okay, give me a slave name. A lot of you bros, the boxes come right back to me, man. A lot of you put Big Judah. A lot of you put, I'm serious. I can't make this up. Yeah. I got a couple brothers. Big Judah. Yeah, right, with an address. You still don't recognize Big Judah, brother. All right? Hell, I hardly recognize it. Okay, but I sent it to you anyway, but the stuff comes back. So when it comes back, I can show it to you. I can't make stuff right. Just the slave name and an address. That's it. All right. Don't write your name in Hebrew. All right. Add that too. A couple of them. Write your name. I hear a lot of fellows wrote their name in Hebrew with their address. How does Esau barely know your name, man? When he gives you a mail, how you gonna recognize that in Hebrew? He gonna say it right. He gonna say it right. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it comes back though, bro. Sometimes it comes back. They don't know the Hebrew name. They don't know what's that. They put it in somebody's mailbox. Yeah, but it comes back. It comes back, yeah. So I'm not going to tarry too long on that. That's about it. But like I said, it's simple. It's not that hard. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's not that hard. So far, since 2017, 182 boxes been sent out. That could have been doubled at my expense. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I get my blessings from the Most High. All right, that's a service. Also, last but not least, you have the Israelite director that I came up to. This thing is getting so big, man. I actually literally had to put tape on it, man. Now, when it started out, it was only 21 pages. Now it's actually 73 pages. So I have quite a few. Yeah, I have quite a few with me today. If you want to come see me afterwards, in this book contains brothers' names and camps. Not their addresses, but their information, their emails, how you can get in contact with them, sister and brother skills, auto mechanics, teachers, lawyers. All of these are Israelites that's within us. Doctors, okay, teachers. You have brothers that are physical therapists, brothers and sisters that have their own dental practices as well too. So all of this is in this book right here, and you can see me afterwards, and I'll give you a copy just for a few, just for a donation, and then money just goes right back, to the Masharah, Yasharahla. But inside this book is a very good book in case you want to relocate to a different state in Nevada. You look up a different camp. Maybe a brother out there have a camp. If you want to relocate to Texas, you may have a brother or sister out there that you're not too sure of. Everything's not on YouTube or on the internet. Sometimes it's always good to keep things in writing. I'm old school. I still write stuff down. All right? I don't trust the GPS system. Ask Pre-Jot. In my car, I got directions. Okay? Written right down. Turn 14th Street, turn up 2 blocks. That's me. I'm old school. I'm a writer like that. I don't trust GPS. A lot of those GPS got bipolar anyway. They don't tell you end up somewhere in Chicago, man. All right? Y'all know that. That lady that be on there to my turn left. Next thing you know, you in Chicago. Okay, somewhere. All right? But that's it for me. That's it. That's part of my program. My 2 programs as far as that's concerned. But at the same time also, like I said, 182 boxes, we can double that. I know I can at least. By the end of the year. It's up to y'all. Like I said, if you don't want the free stuff, you know, hey, it'd be more for our camp, Howard's camp in North Carolina. And I'm pretty sure these brothers will love to have it too. Okay, many kids they have. All right, they love to have it. So that's it. Anybody have any questions, you can come see me a little bit later on. In the name of Yahweh, Yahawashi, Most High loves you, I love you. The spirit of all praises.
All right, so that's Elder Jaquan, the scribe and recorder. Again, like he was saying, what's in this book is brothers and sisters who have different talents and skills. Okay, so as a nation, that's what we're going to need. As a nation, all our people are scattered all over the earth, especially all over America. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have engineers, we have electricians, we have policemen too. We had a few policemen that came to the summits also. We had a few. Okay, we need midwives. We need brothers who know how to do funerals. Okay, we need brothers that know how to do marriages. Okay, circumcision. See, that's what a nation consists of. That's what we need. Do you want the white man marry you? Hell no. You want the white man to give you a funeral? Hell no. Let's say you got a Caesar Borgia up there on the wall, marrying you under that vibration. You don't want that. Do you, woman, when you're pregnant, about to have a baby, do you want the white man to deliver your baby? Hell no. Understand? Israel, we're supposed to have midwives. I don't care if you had a brother, a black man deliver, but that's not supposed to happen either. It's supposed to be a midwife. So we need all of that as a nation. We need all of that. And so the brother developed this phone book. And this phone book has all the different brothers and sisters' information, not so much their address, right? But their phone number and their Facebook or whatever, and their email address and their profession. Because we need all that. So if I need an electrician, I'll go in this book, call the brother up. If I need someone to do circumcision, I'll look in this book and call the brother up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Come. And so that's why it behooves you, everybody should get one of these phone books. He's going to have the phone books later on, okay, after the summit. Okay, you had a question up? Go ahead.
How you get yourself in that book?
He's going to come around. He's going to come around. Anybody that wants to get in this book, he's going to come around with pen and paper. You put your information down, and then he updates the book. Okay. Every summit, he updates the book. That's why it went from how many pages? 10 pages to about 12 pages to 73 right now. This is from all the summits. We gathered all this information. Okay? And brothers, put legitimate information in there. Don't put a phantom Facebook or page or a phantom email address or a phantom number. What are you going to do that for? What does that do? And somebody look and see your credentials, and then they call you up, this number does not exist. Right. That's what I'm saying about. Don't do that out. Okay? So it's very important. So he's going to send it around, and you put your information on the paper. Come? Okay. Bun Yum Yum. Ben is next. The Treasury Department. Bun Yum Yum.
Shalom Bakum, Akim, Akiwa, Shalom. Yes, beautiful. Brother Spook, Kahan, Ash, Shaquan. So I'm the treasurer of the Masharah Yasharahla. You know that's Shaquan, right? When it comes to Shaquan, everybody like, oh my gosh, you're going to steal the money. But no, money is important. It's a defense. I'm going to give you a heads up, right? To put on this event, it's not cheap, right? A 4-day event. Light of Zion hosted this event. It took money, it took finance to do it, right? Whatever donations we get from the congregations or the supporting schools or hosts, the light is not on. It's on. You just speak into it, man. Could y'all hear me? In the back, could you hear me? All right, I'm gonna echo my voice louder. All right, I'm gonna get a little baritone. All right, so whatever donations is being supported by individuals, camps, schools, it all goes back to support whatever we're doing to the major events. It's been put out there that the money we get, we go take the money and go to Israel. That's a lie. You understand? The money goes right back to support and finance everything that we do for the 4-day event. All right? I want to get that straight in everybody's head. We're not up here to rob and steal your money.
All right? Because all of us work. I work for the airport, so you know what that means. All right? Karazal worked for the airport for 31 years. He retired. You know what that means? All right? So I want to get that straight. Being part of, right? Huh? I'm fired. No. All right? So being part of the treasury department, it takes planning, it takes finances, it takes money. Like the scripture said, money is a defense. You can't do nothing in a capitalistic society in Babylon without money. All right? You have a treasury department, you have the IRS. The IRS take your money. The government take your money before you get your money. All right? Before you get your paycheck, they take that money. And they don't ask you how much you want taken up. They take it. All right? We don't do that. Okay? We ask for the donation, and whatever donation is given is used for the purpose that's provided. And guess what? The donation is not even in the thousands that's given. Okay? I'm going to put it straight up. When we get donations here, the most will be maybe about $400. Okay? So what $400 is going to do for all of us to travel to Israel? It can't do squat. Okay? It can't do nothing. I work for the airport. Okay? At JFK. So everybody could know that. All right? But I just want to put that fact out there that any donation you contribute is for a well-deserved benefit for all the camps and for the schools that hosting the Masharah, Yasharahla events. It takes money. It's not cheap. Okay? It takes finances. So for all the brothers and sisters that would like to donate, freely donate. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay? But all we ask, if you donate out of a good heart, a good mind, and a good spirit, and you'll see the results of it. And we got bigger things coming for this nation. I'll say shalom.
Let me say this. These summits, I see some brothers and sisters in here today that the summits make them come out here. I haven't seen them in months. So we need these summits more often.
Yeah, I just want to say something concerning the Treasury Department. You got to understand, like Ben was saying, without finances, you can't do anything. But you got to understand, don't you know that the Most High, with the twinkling of an eye, can make us rich quick? He can give us that money with the twinkling of an eye. Why would the Most High do that? Because he want to see what we're going to do. Understand? What are we going to do? Other nations help out and donate to their cause. Japanese, Chinese, white man, other nations, Arabs. So what's wrong with us? You know, if you were out in the Christian world, what they would do to you? They would terrorize you if you don't get that money. All right, they got ATM machines inside the church. ATM inside the church, ATM machine. And you can't even get into the door unless you have your bank account and check and all that before you get inside the church.
They got direct deposit.
Direct deposit. How about that? So, of course, we're not going to do that here. So that's why the Most High want to see what we're going to do as a nation. When Moses had the Most High commissioned Moses to build the tabernacle, where did Moses get the money from? Remember, he got to go to the people. And back then he said, look, we got to build this tabernacle. We need your gold, we need your silver, we need your brass. Take it off, bring it up here. That's how they were able to build the tabernacle. What are we going to do? The Most High want to see exactly what we're going to do. So that's why we ask for a donation. It goes back into the Masharah, Yasharahla accounts and so forth. If you wanna donate, you can go to Masharah.com. Go to the website. We got a website. Y'all know that? Masharah.com. You can go to the website. You can donate through that too. And Ben, you didn't give him the PayPal. You want to give him that? Just give it to him, Ben. Just give it to him. Whoever takes it, takes it.
Yeah, you can also send the cash up to Light of Zion. Give a slave name. I'll give you a phone number. Shalom, all right? And you can send the cash app to my phone number, which is 718-407-9325. I'm giving you my number. What I got to hide? All right? I'm giving you my phone number. That's my cell number.
Can you say it again?
Say it again.
718-407-9325. And my slave name comes up.
You gonna see it when you put just say it. Say it. You'll see it, Desmond Francis. You'll see it. Yes, sis, real quick.
Can we donate like any cash, like a little collecting, like pot or anything? Collecting cash, like hardcore cash?
We have a donation pot here, yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, the brother gonna-
Yeah, there was envelopes given out, white envelopes. I don't know if you see them. We're gonna have them distributed once again. If you get a white envelope, you put it in this box right here at the end of the stage, and you slip it in the slot, and we'll write your name on it as well too, and we'll tally that up, at some point in time during the evening. And if you're interested in the Cash App for the Light of Zion, it is $THEELOZ. That's $THEELOZ. Keep it real simple, and that's how we collect our donations for the Light of Zion, and as well as the Masharah, Yasharahla. And just to add on the point real quick that when it comes to finance in a nation, money has to move. If it sits still, it doesn't do anything for anybody. All right, it's the movement of money. We make the money worth something, else it's worth nothing. It's just paper. Okay, so as we go forward as a nation, that's why we gotta patronize each other. That's why that book is made. Can you imagine that everything you do, all the business you conduct it with your own people? Think about that for a moment, because the so-called Amalek, the so-called the fake Jew, it's been known in their communities that money jumps hands 13 times before it comes out of the community. 13 times that dollar travels around the community before it comes out. Guess how much times our dollar travels around the community? Zero. Right? It's been analyzed. We do zero business with our own people. We got to break that. Right? We got to break that. So we got to start to really put out each other to the test, man. Depend on each other. All right? Stop trusting everybody else. Trust your brother. Trust your sister. So it's all a trust thing. All right? So if you bring in your money and you bring it forth, you got to trust that. He said, give it a willing heart. Trust that it's going to the right thing. All right? All right.
Okay, so the next brother to explain his department is Karash, Elder Karash.
For my department, I have mainly basically the Steward Council, and I have certain couple cases that I deal with myself fairly easy, but I'm always, some cases I do call, Mutafiwa, Shalimar, even anybody here, we might deal with it, one-on-one, 4 or 5 of us is all we deal with in counseling. There's a lot of cases I take and I just deal with them one-on-one. And I always go to the scriptures. If y'all know me, I go with scripture, I look for what the Most High said about the situation, and I also go into what the powers that be said. Because they have some good ideas, they have structure, and I'm not going to just shoot from the hip and, going to hurt somebody or just give somebody where it's not scriptural and doesn't obey the powers that be. And I get conference and, advice from, brothers that know people who may have something to say about the situation. So we're all one council group because it's safety in council when we deal with anything we do. So this is what, me, I'm doing my part in that, but we also deal, because you may not be able to deal with me, maybe you talk better with him or him, but if you come through me, I'm going to take what I got and y'all will get what you need, scriptures and the powers that be, and the Holy Spirit's going to move you to deal, because Most High got to answer for all our problems. Don't think you're too deep down. Most High ain't got a rope to pull you up. If you don't use it, that rope will hang you too. So we want to deal with the Most High wants us to do in the scriptures and the councils. Our problems that we have are not new. They had them since the beginning. And that goes into my next department, which is history. And I found through being with ISUPK in New York these years, dealing with Ariah and Ariala, and this all the brothers, little pieces that we have from the scriptures is the history of the world. From Genesis 1 and 1 up into Revelations. And we're still coming out with it. but we can do it better than these Gentiles through the Most High. Because this Bible is a true history book of the whole world. And there's chunks that are coming out now that we all going over here and there. If you can catch me on Facebook, sometimes I go and deal with some things there because I learn from them too, you know, and you learn from everybody who's coming with information. And it all comes back to the Bible. I don't deal with no DNA, so don't try to come at me like that. That's white man stuff. I mean, if you do it 400 years, you might get something. But if you're going back 4,000, 2,000, man gonna guess. White lady sent in her dog's DNA. They gave her back a genealogy back to European kings. White lady now, she laughs. I think y'all probably heard about that. Ancestry.com. You see? So I'm just telling you. Do y'all know how they do the DNA? I got the whole structure. Like, I could go in there and do it myself if I was, you know, that type of training. But I know they do AED, they do this, they do that, and that's how they do it. Do y'all know we trust in the devil too much? Okay, if you want to get your DNA from 200 years, 300 years, you might get something, but overcheck it again with another DNA company and see if they'll give you, and send us a dog DNA, see what happens. You know, so you gotta vet these devils out here. You can't trust so much in it. So I don't deal with no DNA because the Bible don't deal with it. The white man started that, and the ancients don't deal with that. We have the history of the multi in all nations in the Bible. Also carbon-14 dating. They use a carbon smasher, atom smasher, to smash the carbon DNA into these particles, and they check out the radioactive decay. How you gonna get life in anything from something that's decaying? And stuff decays at different rapids, whether it's in dry, or cold, or hot, or warm, or heat. So how's that gonna be an accurate way, carbon-14 dating? This guy named Willard Libby started that. Before he died, he said, I'm not complete, I'm not finished, it's a theory. Same with Darwin. He said before he died, it's a theory, I'm still working on it. They both died, the government took it and ran with it. And that's what they're going for, theories. The theory's a guess. And they made it fact in their highest institutions of education. And Negroes and Puerto Ricans run with it. You know, so carbon-14, they ain't doing it, DNA, the way they're doing it is all 18th, 19th century lies. It's incomplete. The Bible gives you the history. When we read, I'm going to go finish up in the history, briefly in the scriptures from Genesis 1:1 to Revelations. You're going to read and you're going to do the math. 2 scriptures. David said it and Peter said it. Psalm 90 and 4, 2 Peter 3 and 8. Okay, Peter's the second unto Christ. As we know so far, the rock, the scriptures like the rock got out earlier. We're following Christ. Peter's the one that did it then, and we're flowing off what Peter did. He started the church back then, so we're coming off of that, you know. And Most High will do everything when he comes. But you read those scriptures, it tells you one day to the Lord is 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is one day. So you got people thinking that the day is a 24-hour period, when the first day the earth wasn't even made yet. We didn't have 24-hour periods then, until the earth was made, the third day. But the day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us, okay? So when we check out those first 1,000 years briefly, and some of y'all may get it, you're going to get it in different parts. I'm just putting it out there, because some of y'all know what I'm talking about. The first 7,000 years, was that a week to us? Or was it 7,000, the first days? Or was it 7,000 years? Days that the Most High worked in. You see? That's what those first days. The day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So we've calculated that the first 7,000 years, and some of us may think it's a week, but that can work too. But there's certain darknesses to that. But now we're looking at the day, how he worked the days to the day of what we call the Sabbath. That was when the flood fell. 7,000 years. Adam was 6th day, so that's 1,000 years. He lived 930 years in that 6th day. So you count how long Adam lived up until Noah, and do the math. It's about 1,000 years, give or take. 7,000 years. Okay, then you count from Noah to Abraham. You count that genealogy in Genesis 11. And you just do the math. From Noah to Abraham, 1,000 years. That's 8,000 years. Then you count from Abraham to King David. Discount Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Then they went into Egypt. They went into Egypt, Exodus, 40 years, Joshua, Judges, all the way up. Then you count Samuel, then you count King Saul, then you count King David. 1,000 years, let's do the math. Okay, that's the 9,000 year from Genesis 1 and 1. Okay, then you count from David up until the birth of Christ. You just do the math. King David and the kings, then the captivities, then the Maccabees and the Greeks and the Romans, and count those dates up until the birth of Christ. That's 1,000 years. That's 10,000 years. Then it gets easy. Just add on 2020. And you see, according to the Bible, what time we're in. Now, you check out all the nations' beginnings. They're all around the year 3000 BC. That millennia, I mean. Okay, you check out the first Pharaoh of Egypt, 3000 BC, Menes. That's around Babylon too, but that was before Egypt. Check out all the beginnings, they're all around 3000, some of it 3100 BC. You know when that was? During the time of the flood. It makes sense that all of the documented history starts 3000 BC, because that was when the flood was. Now everything else is myth. Okay, they tell you Egypt's a million years old, no proof. Only one saying that's a white man. Egyptians don't even say that. Okay? They don't use DNA. Our DNA is a spiritual DNA in this Bible. Okay, the Most High is letting us know who we are. You're waking up, you're believing, you're in this, your heart. The just shall live by faith, not just by sight. You see at first, but you got to evaluate. You got to go to the faith of the Bible, the faith of the scriptures, the faith of talking to that person, and they faithfully tell you, my father is this. Yes, that's what the faith is. Faith is information. Okay? Whether it's spiritual or it's physical. So I'll just give you that briefly. I know some of y'all got a whole lot of questions, but if you go on to, you can contact me or go on to Yasharahla or in the book. We're going to have a name in the book. You'll find information in the book to find information, and we'll get, the questions answered. And go on this journey. History is a journey. Okay, there's so much of it, but we break it down into that little 12,000-year-old millennial basic timeline I just gave you. And once you start to do the math is there. DNA, carbon-14 dating, Kepler, Galileo, Copernicus, all them guys are a bunch of Jesuit witches and homosexuals and faggots. You don't need to be listening to them. Okay, they're too busy having sex with a dog than to sit back and really deal with the Most High's laws and doing the math of the history that I just laid out to you. That's right there in the Bible. Everything else is guesses. Darwin said he guessed. William Libby said he guessed when he made up carbon-14 dating. So who are these guesses? Oh, I said on the History Channel one day. William Libby, he guessed when he did the carbon-14 dating? Okay, he's just smashing atoms up and guessing? We are people of truth. Our religion is truth. John 4:24. The Lord is a spirit. We must worship him in spirit and in truth. We got to dig for the truth. Now, I might be wrong, but let's come together and see who's right. And let the Most High show us who's right. Don't say I'm wrong because you think I'm wrong. Prove I'm wrong with a better answer. That's unity, that's love. Like I said, life, love, and the law repeat. And that's it right here.
I want to say something to what Karash said. Now, DNA has some validity. When you're going back 4,000 years and all this crap, I'm going to give you an example. When you do forensic DNA or fingerprinting DNA, is that accurate? If I take your fingerprint, everybody has their own specific and individual fingerprint. When you go to the precinct and they take your fingerprint, and they put it in the records. Is that legit? Is it right? Yes. So that part of the DNA is accurate. And forensic DNA, if you kill a person and your blood stain or your blood remain is left, it can be traced back to you as DNA forensic evidence. You understand? That point is accurate. But what Karash is saying about going back 4,000 years to trace your DNA, I don't know about that. All right? But the basic forensic DNA is accurate. All right? You can be traced to your fingerprint. You commit a crime, that fingerprint will show up. You leave your marks or anything, your handprint, and they trace that DNA fingerprint, they got you. You're going to jail. All right? So that's accurate. I want to say that now. Shalom.
But Ben, it shouldn't be a topic about DNA. There's no precept or verse in the Bible telling the Most High going to save us by DNA.
I never said that.
You understand me? So for even Karash to come out and to say we don't believe in DNA, that's sad you have Israelite believe in DNA, man. You understand me? Because I remember on one of our trips in Israel, they talk about, remember they were telling us that they run some people over there in India and they were more of a Jewish people than the one in Israel. Man. So that entire DNA to trace your tribe or where you're from, it's confusing, man. So even for Karash to even bring that up, like we don't go by that here, man. Right?
Okay, Karadazala. Let's give Karash a round of applause. Karadazala. Next.
Shalom Akim wa Akiwa.
Shalom. Shalom.
All right, I'm Preventive. I'm in charge or head of the language department. I started studying this back in '93. In '94, I became a teacher, and I've been teaching ever since. In '99, I published this book right here, the Torah. That was the first one. And ever since that, the Most High has inspired me to continue to do his books in the ancient language. Because we as a people, like the brother said earlier, every nation has a language. And our language is the ancient Hebrew. We're Hebrew Israelites, right? Right. We're not English or Spanish Israelites, we're Hebrew Israelites. You know? Because as you start going in Israel, you see there's a lot of doctrines out there, right? Now, the Bible originally, whether it's the 1611 version or the NIV or the Internet, all the versions come from where? From the Hebrew and the Greek, right? So if there's any doctrine that's out there, it cannot be refuted when you go back to the original language. We have discussions and debates about the English translation. But when you go back to the original Hebrew, there is no debate. That book is closed and shut because you can't say, oh, well, the Hebrew is wrong. No, because that goes back to the scrolls. So I'm going to read this little precept here. This is in the Epilogue of Ecclesiastes, or Salah, right? It says, wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. So even back then, when they were interpreting or translating the Bible, there were certain words that they didn't have, because back then, the Hebrew language, the words, the vocabulary, there was only, I would say maybe no more than 600-700 words. But now there's thousands and thousands of words, wherefore they can interpret it. But back then, you know, Hebrew is like a construct language, you know. There's no certain words like hate and love and anger in the Hebrew language. So when you read certain words in the Hebrew, they have to, how can I say it? They have to, like they said, labor to translate. Well, what does this word mean, you know? Like the word anger. There's no Hebrew word for anger, but the Hebrew word that they use for anger is nose. Like, how they say it? Yeah, like a Russian bull. They use the word for nose as a bull. When a bull is angry, you'll see his the breath coming out of his nostrils. So they translate that as the word anger. So as we go forward in learning our language, when we get back to the ancient, all we gotta do is go and see what the original language says. And a lot of these doctrines would be put to rest. You know? So I'm gonna finish reading this here. It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. So even when you're praying the Most High hears all languages, right? But the language of the heavens is what? Is Hebrew. When you read Revelation, you always hear, well, in the Hebrew tongue, this is what it says. Because that's the language of the angels. That's the language of Yaharahla. When Yaharahla came to meet Paul, what language was he speaking? He spoke to him in the Hebrew language, right? When he was on the cross, a lot of people say, well, how do you know how to pronounce it? You know, was there a recorder back then? But we know that in the scripture, the Most High don't leave nothing out. You know? He said in the last days, he was going to reveal what? His secrets unto the prophets, right? Now they say the ancient Hebrew language is a lost language. Nobody know how to speak it, but when Yahushua was on the cross and he was speaking to the Father, that's the language we need to be speaking. Huh? Now when you read Matthew's 27:46, you will see that the same way we speak Hebrew today with the ah, ba, da, da, and the ah sound and the I sound, that's the same language he was speaking to the Father in. Look it up yourself, you know? So, when you're praying, it's very important to pray in your ancient language. You know, teach your children. When they're young and their brains are young, I see people got their families here. Teach them the language. They'll catch on very quickly. You know, the ancient language is very simple. It's not like the modern language where you got dots and dashes and vowels and all these other things that confuse you. It's a very simple language. A lot of people would rather learn the ancient language than the modern language. You know, I have videos online on YouTube. I have books, grammar books. I have other books that I've written right now, working on the Tanakh, the prophets and the writings. And if it's the Most High will, by the end of this year, it might be ready. But it's a long process. It's a lot of work to be put in. But a lot of us have been asking for it, so that's what I'm doing right now. And I hope at the end, at the Sabbath, we'll have the books back there. You can come and take a look. You can come and take a look and see the work that I've done. And you can go online and you can learn your language. Learn how to speak to the Most High in your language. Because, like the scripture said, this is the most powerful language on earth. Tongue? Shalom.
All right, so that's Yasharahla for the Hebrew, representing the Hebrew for the Masharah. And okay, next is Mathathua, Elder Mathathua of the Correspondence Department.
Yeah, shalom again, brothers and sisters. I just want to bring up something that Ben said earlier in terms of correspondence. We break the barrier where and I just want to say this: the Masharah is not only the government in America, but we government internationally. You understand me? So we want to stand up for people in the four corners of the earth, anywhere they are. And we break grounds with brothers in Israel. We have affiliation in Germany. Those brothers over there in Germany. We have affiliation with brothers in the Netherlands. They just came back from Zion too. Our praises to those brothers. We have affiliation with families in Britain. The Queen land. What you say? You say something as well? Yeah, we have affiliation. So and to build affiliation in terms of when you go somewhere, you're going to a next brother gate, you feel love. Because the whole Sabbath service teaching was about we don't love each other. You understand me? If we love each other like the scripture said we should, we'd be a faraway brothers. You understand me? But we don't have that love. So if, say, for instance, now you have a brother, he roll up in any one of these places. That's why it's one of the book, you'll see his brother's information in there in these places, man. You understand me? And as I mentioned, we have Parzai and Nathaniel, they're Turkey now. And about 2 years ago, Parzai went to India, which I think that was a big achievement. He went over there and he teach those black people in India. And last year Passover, one of them was at the Passover in Israel, man. Just imagine that. We be begging you to come to Zion from when and you ain't reach. And Parzai went to India once. And one of the brother over there came to the Passover in Israel. So we have to give the Most High thanks for that. Right? And even when we were over there and we do the Passover, there was the next sister, Katizala. She came from Cyprus.
I'll hold this for me, I'm getting tired.
You falling asleep? It was a small tent, yeah, the sister came from Cyprus, man. You understand me? So when we read the scripture and we read about these places where Paul used to go in Asia, and then when we in Israel now see these people coming up, you remember that one sister we see from Zimbabwe, Barack? Yeah, you remember, right? And all these people coming up. So we see these people, we talk to them, we build affiliation with them, we build alliance. You understand me? I just get a text message too from the Mona. They send a picture to me that Anthony B, the reggae artist in Jamaica, is in the Mona. No. You understand? And that's what love is. Like I related back question to them because I am talking with Sizzler and is affiliated too, man. You understand me? I just need to go to Jamaica to do an interview with him, but I don't reach yet. But we getting in that avenue now. You understand me? So work be done, and then brothers questioning our credibility, where Bonnie and man have to stand up here and say we're not taking brothers or sister money to go to Israel. Be honest with yourself, man. If you contribute money to the Masharah or Yasharahla, question us, man. Ask us where it is. I contribute $100. What y'all do with it? Say it, because nobody contributing money to it, man. And we're still going forward and pushing this summit. Because we know most of you brothers and sisters, the church, the Christian church, rob you. Some Israelite camps rob you too. So we see as a delicate flowers now. So that's why Ben even use the term, if you feel like contribute, you contribute. If you don't, we still going to be in Zion. Huh? Where you work, Ben?
JFK.
Okay, Ben work at JFK.
JFK.
And characters are, how much age do you do? He's retired now. He's the only retired one up here. But for everybody else, for all of these other brothers, they working. I'm like, Tommy, I'm trying to get a job. You understand me? But all these other brothers, they working. You understand me? But
He's dead.
he's dead.
No.
You just have to spoil it for him. Right? So I'm just saying this. So for we to be here defending, we're not robbing our own people. It's a sad thing. This is where Israel at, man. You understand me? And then brothers start bad about the summit. Brothers say this is what we're doing. We're doing a lot, brothers. Brothers questioning us, say we don't buy no land in America. Brothers, listen. We would never take your money and buy land in America. When you read Isaiah 24 verse 1, the Most High going to turn this place upside down, brothers and sisters. So if in so-called 2020, our desire to you is to buy land in America to build a community. If that would work, the Black Panther would still be up and going strong. If that would work, Martin Luther King would buy land here too. But the problem is, brothers, we cannot be a sovereign state in an enemy land. Just imagine we go back to Zion, and Esau come up in Zion and say, sovereign act. I'm going to buy this piece of land right up here in Judah, and I'm just going to live and build community. That never happened in no enemy land. The so-called Jews went to Germany with that custom, and you see why Hitler did to them? He put them into a Volkswagen. All 12 of them he packed up in the Volkswagen. And that was a harsh trade. You understand me? So we cannot buy no land here and build up a kingdom here. It will never work. Because the scriptures, the Most High tell us in Deuteronomy 28, you're going to put us in slavery. So we came here to do what? Serve a punishment. That's why when I read Matthew 24, Yahushua said when he comes, he's going to send his angel to do what? Gather us. So if we're telling you, the best thing any congregation can tell you to do is buy land in America and build up America, or build up community in America. They're lying to you, man. But what I can tell you is, for some of us here, we see your land. We go over there and see your land over there. The land is over there in Israel. The most I give you the land from the Nile to the Euphrates. Not what they show you on the map. That piece of land they show you on the map, that's garbage, brothers. You have to talk about half of Kenya. You have to talk about Tanzania. You have to talk about Cameroon. All that is Israel, brothers. From the Nile, the great river of Egypt, to the Euphrates up there to Mesopotamia, man. We own all that land. So it's impossible for me to tell you to buy land in America when we have free land there. Ben, get that scripture from me, Isaiah 35, and read 3 verse, and let's finish it right. Yeah. Because I normally said, we love America, man. And America is not our rest. Let we make a claim for the land of Israel too. Because they have a problem about the peace deal, right? Palestine not accepting it, Jewish people not accepting it. So let we go in and say, okay, we will be the ones set the peace. Palestine, go back to Jordan or over Syria. The white man go back to Basra or Mount Seir, man.
Back in the cave.
Go back in your caves. You understand me? So it's time for we, like the scripture tells you in Daniel 7:18, it said the saints shall take the kingdom. The spirit don't even show me I want to take the kingdom, man. And you still worrying about Trump as president, man. You don't show me that spirit that you're ready to take this. Right? Read what you have, man.
Isaiah 35:1, right?
Yes, sir.
We're in the book of Isaiah 35:1. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
So when we go over there and we show you a video, only thing I can show you is wilderness, right? Who watch the videos over there in Israel? We see wilderness, right? But what the scripture says? Read that from the top.
Isaiah 35:1. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
So that's what I'm going to be glad for you. I remember brothers texting and said, why so much wilderness? The Most High not going to bless the land if you Negroes ain't there. Plain and straight. Just like when the Native Americans over here, you have fruit tree, you have everything. When Esau come, what did the Most High do? Where's the fruit trees? Where's the buffaloes? Because anywhere the white man goes is destructive. So the Most High is not going to bless nothing for him to have, brothers. So now the Most High said the wilderness is going to be happy for you. Because I noticed you in America, you don't want to do nothing, man. How much of you black men ever kill a chicken? I'm only a Benjamin indeed. That brother in the back. You understand me? Because Judah need Popeyes. You see how Judah was lining up for those Popeye chickens? You understand me? That's what, because we want everything ready done, brother. So we think the Most High will bless the land. He will make trees and all these things grow back there for the enemy. It will never happen. The land will not flourish again until we back in that land, brothers. That's why they made that movie Avatar, man. We and the land is one. When we curse, the land was cursed too. When we restore back in it, that's the only time the land will be restored. That's why the scripture said the wilderness and the solitary, which is the waste place, going to be glad for you.
That's right.
Because you want to go and build it back. Because it was our fault it destroyed anyway. It was our fault. We was there, we was living like we were living in America. So with that, yeah, destroyed. So we want to go and build it back. Just like when Nehemiah went, Nehemiah said he was doing what with one hand. The sword was in one hand, and the hammer was in one hand. That was their legacy. As what Karash was reading about Numbers, thousand years. They built a legacy. What is our legacy now, brothers?
Kill Esau.
No. We have to be on a more spiritual. We cannot kill Esau now when we acting like Esau. Right. Because the Most High not going to put us in the kingdom acting like the wicked. We have to go in a way higher level. That's why when you read the scripture, it tells you, it's going to come a day when Judah and Israel going to come together and make a perpetual covenant. Right. But where did it say we're going to make that covenant? In America? Did it say that? We'll never survive here. So the day going to come when we're going to go back to Zion and make that perpetual covenant. That's why I tell brothers, even we go over there now, Esau is scared as hell, he's mad. But you know the thing he cannot do? He cannot put a hand on us. Because if he make our blood shed in that land, just like the scripture says, Abel blood cry out to the Most High. If he make our blood cry out in that land, you know that's his last day. Because the Most High going to say, my people come back home and you stopping them. Right? Read on.
And the desert shall rejoice.
The desert going to rejoice when we back in that place where it's called Israel today, man. Read on.
And blossom as the rose.
And what?
And blossom as
And
the
blossom.
rose.
But you see that? He said the tree's going to be blossom again. But that only going to happen when we there. He said all that might be happy to see us. And then the tree's going to start blossom again, brothers. Read on.
It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice, even with joy and singing.
Read.
The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it.
And that's when the nation's going to come and seek you now. Get that. Isaiah 2:1. You want to read that more?
Isaiah 2:1?
Yes. Get Isaiah 2:1 there. Let's see where the nation's going to come up and ask for your wisdom. Can you think nobody coming really to you on the street of America?
Isaiah chapter 2:1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Yasharahla. It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
So where God is going to establish? No, we're going to buy land in America, we're going to establish it over here. Ephraim did that once, right? Ephraim did that once, right? We ain't sending the people up to Jerusalem. You just stay right up here in where they call so-called Samaritan today, and we going to worship here. But the Most High says, those have to establish one place, brothers. So that's why it's best for you to try to come together now. Because when you go back to Zion, you ain't going to have your own house. When you go back to Zion, it will be one house, which is the house of Yah. So if you just say, okay, the house up there in Mount Moriah, I'm going to build my house down in Galilee. You don't have to go up there. Just try. Because we're going to have some disobedient black man and woman. Just try it. I'm just begging you. Because you see, we worry about Esau, no. But we have to clean up within us, man.
God.
Because the scripture tells you all day that exam should go backwards, man. Read.
And shall be exalted above the hills.
Read.
And all nations.
And what?
And all nations.
No, some of them.
And all nations.
Read.
Shall flow unto it.
So you see where the nation is going to flow unto us? When we even read the scripture in Isaiah 60, when they come and bow to us, they're not supposed to bow to us in America, man. Now, to be honest, I don't want them cracking up their bowing to me. Get the ass up. I want the Queen to come and bow. I want all those people in the Vatican to come and bow. Those are the people supposed to come and bow. And guess what? They're going to do it. But only way they're going to do it, read on.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High.
Zion, read.
To the house of the Most High of Jacob.
Read.
And he will teach us of his ways.
So we have to go tell those books, stop eating the dogs. We ain't going to go to China to tell them that. They have to send delegates come to Jerusalem, then we tell them what to do, because our nation have to keep the laws of God. And then if they still continue that attack, as Obama mentioned, David had 37 mighty men, we might send 2 down there. Because China have a lot of people. If it was a country now like say Germany, you send 1. But China have a million man, army or something like that, you send 2 down there to create great slaughter down there. But the problem is, they're going to seek us in Zion. Nobody going to seek us in America. So I remember I hear brothers trying to run for mayor and all this stuff. Brothers, this is not our race, man. You understand me? So with that, I said, brothers and sisters, seek Zion. Jerusalem is your mother of all. Shalom.
All right, welcome to Gospel, over the first part of the Masharah. Next, we have Shalimar. Okay, Shalimar. Shalom.
All right, hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, so Minister Shalimar, Light of Zion, and my office as well is counsel. All right, so I share this office with Elder Courage. You know, when it comes to counsel, there's 2 different types of counsel. There's corrective counseling, right? And there's also preventative counseling. It's counseling before the situation happens, before there's a problem, right? There's counseling that goes forth, as is written in Sirach 37, verse 16. It says, let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action. So we take a proactive position with counsel, meaning that, oftentimes we can avert a problem if we went into the situation the right way in the first place, right? But when we do things wrong from the beginning, then we end up with a bad result. Now we want to get counseling. Things need to be corrected, and why am I going through this, right? Oftentimes you're going through things that you put yourself into. Does everybody understand that? All right. So we have preventative counseling going on, whether it be career counseling, right? You want to go forth into a career. You got your jobs, the way you make your money. You're going to go into something that's going to put you to work on the Shabbat. When you know you want to be off on the Shabbat, that doesn't make sense, correct? Right? So now we have preventative counseling, pointing you in the right direction from the beginning. A lot of our young people, they're still in school age, they have not built families yet, right? They need counseling on finding a good mate, right? They need counseling on marriage, right? A lot of times we go into marriage in a carnal mind and they want to have a spiritual marriage. Doesn't work that way, right? We have to start the mission the right way. So my office, as of late, last couple of years, we've been doing marriages and premarital counseling. All right, premarital counsel program, meaning that you have to pass the program in order for us to sign your ketubah. Right? A ketubah is a document that says you are married to this person, and it is written. All right. So no more. What we're trying to prevent is no more secret marriages in Israel. Everybody understand that?
God.
No more social media marriages. No more, he says, casual sex, right? No more sexting. And now I'm married. You can't get married over the Facebook. That's not your wife, okay? I never met her, but that's my wife over there. You can't get married over the Facebook, all right? You have to come before each other. When you read in Scripture, what's that? Thumbs up, that's right. When you read in Scripture, right, it was a covenant. Marriage is a covenant. What is a covenant? It's a pact and a plan. It's something that goes forward, right? It's something that's promised. It's something that you put your word and your honor on, right? It's not something secret and covert. Because what happens is, things done in darkness shall be what?
Come to the light.
And now everybody's shamed. Right? And everybody's shamed. I don't know why they're talking about me. Right? But the things done in dark now is brought to light. So let's do things in the light from the beginning. All right? So we set up a program that you come and you get counsel before you marry. Before you lay together. Right? To determine that you both understand what marriage is according to scriptures. All right? And nobody's going into this under any false pretenses. Nobody's being fed, given the old saying, given a 6 for a 9, right? That the reality and the truth is being put forth, that the young man and young woman, right, are deciding to enter this, right, with fully knowing what it's about, okay? It might seem nice to be married to a prophet or a priest, but you understand that these prophets and priests, they're not home a lot. Right? Anybody here that do this work know that you're not home a lot. So this is something you have to understand as a wife to a one that does this work. He may not be around a lot because he has his responsibilities with the Most High God. Everybody understand that? But if you don't discuss these things and lay these things down and put these things in writing and document, then later on it becomes an issue. An issue now you want corrective counseling. Now I don't know why I'm going through this, and so forth. Right? He's wicked, she's wicked. Right? Listen, we all wicked. They said our righteousness is like dirty rags, huh? So what we got to do is get right. Do what's right. Be proactive with the word of the Most High. We got the instructions. It's right here. Right? We don't have to make this up. We don't have to guess or wonder. All we have to be is obedient. All right? So my office have been dealing with premarital counseling and also ceremonial marriages, Hebrew ceremonial marriages, right? Because there is a a celebration of the union of these families through this brother and this sister. Everybody understand that? Right? When a brother marries a sister, these are not just them two being married, but their families are being unified. Okay? Their families are being unified through this marriage. Right? The other family becomes your in-laws. When you say in-law, what law is it talking about? It's talking about the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? That's your in-laws according to the law of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Not the law of this land. This land, you can marry a dog in this land. Well, the other puppies gonna be your in-laws? Right? So you know that not the law of this land. The law of this land is garbage. They get that understanding from our Torah. All right? So what we are establishing is premarital counseling, marriage ceremonies, right? Documenting marriages, right? And the Masharah, Yasharahla, and the recorder are going to start to have these marriages, ketubas, actually recorded. So that when somebody can say, whose wife are you, it's not a question mark on that, right? Or go to a brother and say, well, who's your wife? There's no question on that, right? We have to get away from that because, listen, if the marriage is weak, the family is weak. If the family is weak, the community is weak. If the community is weak, the nation is weak. Everybody understand that? It goes all the way back down to them two get together, man. Our whole nation is built off of Jacob and his wives. Come? Our whole nation comes about from Jacob and his wives. Right? So let's get this marriage corrected. Let's get it right. Let's just build. Let's have strong marriages. Marriages that go on and on and on. Right? How long is marriage supposed to last? For how long? For how long? For how long? And ever and ever and even forever. So that's how long they're supposed to last. So let's get that established in Yasharahla. So that's my office as Minister Shalom, and we'll continue to do so. If you're in need of these services, we just let us know through the different various elders that are up here, as well as what we want to do is establish this and multiply this in all the camps that are all throughout the diaspora. All right? It shouldn't just be us doing this down here. You need to do it with your elders in your sanctuary, and your camp, in your area, in your region. There should be someone ministering over these unions and these covenants of marriage. So we're going to multiply this. We're going to train on it, make sure that we're all speaking the same thing, and that we're establishing strong marriages in Yasharahla. And with that, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, just let me say this to what Shalom said, because the family is important, man. Because even some of our travels, if we over there and we have a nagging woman just in the background, nagging, our whole trip is off, man. And I'm talking from experience. But with marriage, we have to understand too, we're living our culture. So I know a lot of you brothers and sisters will base our marriage after Esau custom. We don't do that. You understand? What they call that word now? Polygamy. I never seen the scripture. I don't know what it is about. But we believe a man cannot more than one wife. Because that's our culture and that's our heritage. And we're going to live it to the four corners of the earth wherever we be. Right? So with that, we have the spokesman for the nation of Israel, which is Elder Barak again. He's going to mention about the code of ethics. He's going to mention what the Masharah Yasharahla really stand for. You understand me? Because I know you hear some filthy conversation going on out there, which is folly, man. We don't stand for it, we don't agree with it, and it has to be condemned. So give Barak a round of applause.
Okay, all praise to Jehovah, Shalom, Mashiach, Yahushai. And we say, Shema Yasharahla, Yahweh Al-Hayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. So hear, O Israel, the Most High is one power. Okay, Kun? Kun? Okay, so we stated before that we have the MasharahYasharahla.com. Okay, so we have the website. You go on the website, and on the website, you will see what? You will see the mission statement of the Masharah Yasharahla. I'm going to read this mission statement right now so that you can understand that this is a nation going forward, the government of Israel going forward. It's an actual mission statement going forward of the Most High and Yahweh Shai, and we're going to do what this mission statement says that we should do. Okay, so I'm going to read it here. You just listen up, but you can also go to Masharah.com and read it yourself. Okay, so it's all praise to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, HaMashiach Yahweh Shai, Kwam Yasharahla, Hallelujah. Masharah means government of Israel, which is under the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Its objective is to build a government structure to ultimately rebuild the nation of Israel, which is Yasharahla, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Panamanians, Mexicans, North, South, and Central American Indians scattered and dispersed throughout the earth, which means the remnant of our people left in Africa, right? Asia, Europe, Arabia, India, China, Far East, the Pacific Islands, and essentially the four corners of the earth. We're everywhere, brother. The government of Israel is based upon the foundation of laws, statutes, and commandments of the Torah and the Gospels and the Bible, given to us by Yahweh Ba'Hashem, HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. Our function as a government under Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is to bring back the identity, language, and heritage, culture, and customs of the nation of Israel. Our primary goal is to teach those individuals whose forefathers are of Negroid and Indian descent, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, their biblical roots and true nationality recorded in the Bible. Okay, come? Our main objective is to learn and practice the biblical tradition of the Hebrew Israelites, also known as the 12 tribes of Israel. This is so that the true people of Israel can redeem their heritage and fully understand their historical origin. Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Come? 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 So the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, hand for that. Okay? And like we iterated before, when we start the Masharah, I need that. When we started the Masharah, we didn't have this flag when we were doing the summits. We began with the conferences. But as time went, around the third, fourth summit, we developed this flag. As you can see, all nations got their symbol, all nations got their flag, right? So we got a flag. We don't need the white man's flag. Do we need his flag? No. We're a nation in exile. We can make our own flag, all right? Under the spirit of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay? So what do? Brothers in the council got together and said, what are we going to call it? Well, let's call it the government of Yasharahla, government of Israel, Masharah Yasharahla. Come? And then they said, okay, what are we going to put on it? Well, brothers came up and said, let's put the colors of the tabernacle on it. And at first, I think we had one of the colors that were wrong. I think we had like an orange color. But we went to the scriptures again. Trial and error, right? We went to the scriptures and realized the color of the tabernacle was the purple, the red, and the blue. Read in Exodus. So we said we had to change it and put the right colors on it. So these are the colors of the tabernacle. And then the brother said, well, what are we going to put in the middle of it? So the brother said, put a menorah, all right? The 7 stages of creation, all right? The menorah, the 7-pronged menorah. And then around it in Hebrew, it says Masharah Yasharahla. And then we just had that. But then I looked at it and we said, something is missing here. Something was missing. And then I went back to the brothers and said, we need the 12 tribes, right? Because it says Masharah Yasharahla. We need the 12 tribes. So the 12 tribes are on it, and the stone, and the color of the stone that represents each tribe. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Zebulun, Simeon, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Asher, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar. The 12 tribes of Israel. And that's the flag. That's the flag for you right there.
Hallelujah.
From the Most High, that's the flag. And now this flag is all over the place. Brothers got patches. There may have to be some patches for sale. And Most High will, the next summit, we're going to have some little flags around on the tables and stuff. Okay? Because why? we're thinking about nationality. See, it's a nationalistic idea. To bring it together. So that's why the Most High had us create a flag. So that's by the Spirit of Yahweh. And then also, we have what we call the Code of Ethics. So I had the brother send you around the Code of Ethics, this paper here. All right? We probably didn't really have enough for everybody, but there's every summit I give it out. So some of you probably already have 3 or 4 in your house already. But there's about 2 per table, and if you have 2 per table, and you got more than 2 people at the table, just send it around so they can see it. But this is 12 codes of ethics. 12 representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? And the code of ethics is just what? Scriptures. Scriptures concerning the brotherhood. And we call it says code of ethics because ethically, we're supposed to deal with one another ethically. What does ethics mean? Moral principles that govern a person or group's behavior. How do you govern your behavior? Okay, you can look that up. How do you govern your behavior? How should I tell us to govern one another? Our behavior, morally, righteously, spiritually. How do you govern yourself? The code of ethics. So the code of ethics teach us how to deal with one another. Brotherhood, unity, courtesy, hospitality. Okay. The scriptures say, let's say this one, code number, code number 11. Look at code number 11. It says what? A new commandment I give you unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men that ye are my disciples, if ye love one another. That's code number 11. And I think it's code number 11 on the paper. Okay, yes, code number 11. So how about that? That's in the scriptures, brother. So we're not going to go through all the codes, but you can look at it on the paper. But they're going to show you what? That the Most High wants to follow his commandments in Yahweh. Okay? And these are commandments. That's the next stage and level that we need to come to. So why don't we stop pussyfooting around here and come on this level Yahweh wants to come to. That's what the Masharah is all about. So we got the code of ethics. It says, Israelite men of honor, we're talking about being honorable. How do you deal with one another? Civil laws, moral laws, how do you deal with one another? Neighborly laws, how do you deal with one another? The scriptures say if you hate your brother in your heart, you murdered him. The Heavenly Father charged you with murder if you hate your brother in your heart. So how many of you brothers here that committed murder? See? Spiritual murder. Just because you have jealousy or envy in your heart. This is what the Most High is saying. Okay? So all this, so be honorable. And then brotherhood codes of ethics. And then you read the ethics down here, the codes of ethics. Am I my brother's keeper? And Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? What did Cain say? I don't know where my brother's at. Am I my brother's keeper? See, that's the attitude the Most High don't want to have. We're supposed to be our brother's keeper. We're supposed to have our brother's back.
That's right.
We're supposed to care about one another. Okay, that's what I think Yank and I were talking about that. Gun? Okay, so that's what we got to start doing and come up on that next level. So that's the code of ethics, the flag, the code of ethics, and the mission statement. And also now, all right, here's what the Most High says, brotherhood. Okay, just the definition of brotherhood. The relationship between brothers. A union, alliance, body, order, community. See, the quality of being brotherly. Fellowship. Come? Fellowship, a friendly relationship among people who share the same interests. Well, all of us in here share the same interests, don't we? So where's our fellowship? So how are we going to talk about isolating this camp, isolating itself against that camp, and this camp separating itself against that camp? Where's the fellowship? See? So this is what this is all about. And then, of course, communication. The process in which we exchange information. See, we need to communicate and network more. I don't care if you're camped in California, the West Coast, and our camped in the East Coast, we can still fellowship and communicate. Come? information, knowledge, wisdom, the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Because the Most High gives that camp in the West Coast, the certain talents the Most High gives that camp. On the East Coast, that camp don't have that talent. So that's why I call you up and say, what the Most High show you in that scripture? And then we bring it together. Come? Because there ain't no one school got it all. Everybody, come on. I got 100% truth. No, you don't.
Right.
You're 100% idiot. That's what you are. You don't have 100% truth. Nobody does. The Most High does not work that way. That's why we were talking about the brother with the phone book. Zaquan with the phone book is telling you everybody's talents. Put your skills down here. Because I can't do what you can do. You can't do what I can do. And so if we come together as a nation, you know how much power that is? And we can help one another. So in Yasharahla. So this is what the Most High wants us to do. So now, with that, I just want to bring out something, okay, that's been floating around YouTube and social media and so forth. You might have heard a particular brother had a young woman. She was like 15, 16, 17 years old. This brother's in his 50s, okay? And then, of course, once the brother put it out on Facebook that he had this woman, and of course, a lot of brothers went back on Facebook and YouTube and condemned the situation. Okay, they say the brother's too old, the woman's too young. Okay, we condemn it. Okay, and so brothers, other brothers, other camps started putting out videos. Okay, but the videos weren't to bring understanding to the situation. That these videos were negative. They were negative videos. These videos didn't really help the situation at all. But you're doing it all through YouTube. You're putting your dirty laundry out on YouTube. That's just madness, man. Okay? Instead of trying to go to the brother and let him know what the house of David did. And some of these brothers in the other camps here did also. Went to the brother and said, brother, individually said, brother, you can't do that. Okay? Now you may say, well, the scriptures say that we marry young women in their teens and so forth. Yeah, but we're not in our kingdom yet. Okay? We're not in our kingdom yet. That's why the Most High says use discretion. And Zaquan, you're going to get me Psalms 112 and 5. The Most High says use discretion on what you do. You walk around here, you 50-something, the woman is 15 or 16 or whatever. So what can now, in this society, what can they do to you? They can throw you behind in jail and charge you with pedophilia. And you'll be behind bars with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. Somebody gonna be waiting for him in there. Because even in jail, they don't like to hear that. Okay, they don't like to hear that. Rape and all that, and then you're a child molester and so forth. I'm not saying the brother child molester, but we're saying you got to use discretion. Okay? You can't talk about out there in the camps, talking about we can have a 13-year-old girl. No, you can't, because you're not having my 13-year-old daughter. You're not having my 13-year-old daughter. I don't care what the hell, who you think you are. I don't care if you said you got 100% truth or 200%. You're not having my daughter boy at 13. And furthermore, the law says you got to go to the parents anyway. How is a parent going to let you take up their 13-year-old daughter or 14 or 15-year-old daughter? Read the Bible. It says go to the parents. Go to the father. And then the father will decide if he wants you to marry his 15-year-old daughter or not. And then you got to pay him for it. You got to pay him for it too. Haven't you read the scriptures? You got to pay him shekels. So he ain't giving up his daughter for nothing. But like the brother just commented on it, all these old secret marriages, all right? You taking a woman and it's a secret, nobody knows, and then you pop up on Facebook, I'm married. And then you got problems down the line. So you better be careful. Read that up. Tell them where you're at.
Psalms 112 and 5. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion.
Yeah, see? Your affairs with discretion. So that means you got to come to counsel before you do it. Always, because that's why we got a counsel here. And Shalimar, you got Karash, always come to counsel. So you can say, Karash, should I marry this 15-year-old girl? What do you think about that, Karash? How old are you, brother? I'm 57, about to turn 60. 3 years, okay, about to turn 60. Should I marry this 15-year-old girl? And Karash, what would you say?
Everything you said.
Everything I said. Huh?
And the scriptures, I tell them, go and talk to the Father.
Right. See? Common sense. See, then he would have been saved all that embarrassment. Well, it came out on social media and stuff that the brother was coming to the house of David. Yeah, he was. He was coming to the classes, to the house of David. Okay? But once we got wind of it, we said, what, brother? If you don't stop doing what you're doing, you can't come here no more. That's what we told him. You can't come to the house of David no more until you deal with that situation. That's how we dealt with the house of David. And we got with the house of David that you got to be with the woman for at least, you got to court the woman for at least 6 months, then come to counsel. Let us know something. Now, how would we look? He come in there, rolling to the house of David with a 15-year-old woman, and he's damn near 60. How would we look allowing that? Yeah. Is there brothers trying to say he's part of the house of David, part of the house of David? Yeah, okay. He come in for classes. He ain't part of our camp. But he just comes to the classes. He dropped by for the classes. But we did counsel the brother. Bunyamin, tell you, counsel him. Mathathua counseled the brother. Did he listen? No. So now what happened to him? Now he's all embarrassed. Now he realized he made a mistake. Now he won't show up at the house of David. Before he was coming to the house of David and leaving early. Because he knew what was going to happen. But we had to tell him, you can't come back no more. And Zaquan, get Proverbs 1 and 4. And then there's one more after that, Colossians 3 and 5. And then I'll beat on that. Go ahead, read that up.
Proverbs 1 and 4. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion.
So did Most High say? To give the young man knowledge and discretion. So that's why you come in, and if you got a problem and don't know how to handle it, you go to the council. And you come to the council and get understanding. Because I'm going to tell you something, brothers and sisters, all this, when we hear about the fornication, okay, the adultery, we have to tell some brothers, you can't come to the summit until you deal with your problem of adultery and all that stuff, and fornication. We have to tell them, because it's too toxic. Brothers want to kill some of these brothers. And we can't have that here. Because all the summits were peaceful summits. Now they come in here, and the brother that they committed their act against or whatever, that brother's here, and they say, you know, you're going to have a fight break out or something. So we had to tell these brothers, you can't come. We had to tell about 3 or 4 brothers, you can't come. Okay? We're not going to have that. So it has to be done decently in order. Okay? Discretion. The Most High said, come to counsel first. And when you come to counsel, then the Most High can guide you in the right way. I mean, we all make mistakes. I made mistakes. We all make mistakes. But come to counsel. And your order, and then your steps will be directed orderly. Go ahead, read that, Karash.
Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members.
Mortify your members, meaning your body,
which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Right. How about that? Inordinate affection. What is that? Oh, well, maybe I just need a 15-year-old girl. See? Once you get someone your age, that's an inordinate affection. And then you can add the rest of the inordinate affection, which is homosexuality, understand? Lesbianism, inordinate affection. Concupiscence means lust. Lasciviousness means lust. Understand? So when a brother is going off in his lust, that means he got to be stopped. And so that's why all this came out. because the brother kept on going and don't want to correct himself because of the counsel that he was given. Didn't want to correct himself. So we just wanted to bring that out. Does everybody understand that? Come? So that's very important. But all this is going around throughout the whole nation. The adultery and all that, brothers take man and already got it. Too late. Now she a whore in Israel. See? And you made her a whore. You made her that way. Out of your inordinate affection and strange lust. So leave her alone. So again, that's dealing with what we just read about the definition of ethics. See, proper ethics. Understand? Code of ethics. That's where that lies at. Okay, come? So, Yakanan, you're going to come back up too and read the mission statement for the officers. Okay, and I just want to read this before we finish. Now, every year, every summit, we acknowledge Hebrew Israelite forerunners that were before us. See, for a brother to say that the truth started with their camp like in 1969, and then that was it, which is a damn lie, okay? It didn't just start in 1969. Okay, we have to understand that. There were forerunners before us. Okay, don't you know that we have Israelites and brothers that knew they were Israelites way back in slavery? Come? Way back in slavery. So I'm going to read a few of the ones that knew they were Israelites way back in slavery and were taught that they were Israelites, that our people were Israelites. Okay? Nat Turner, slave rebellion in Southampton, Virginia, 1831. You know he knew he was an Israelite? They say he drew a shield of David before they hung him. You knew he was an Israelite in the sand. Denmark Vesey, slave rebellion in Charleston, South Carolina, 1822. Knew he was an Israelite. He was a preacher. Okay? Gabriel Prosser planned a slave rebellion in Richmond, Virginia, 1800. Okay? Knew he was an Israelite. He was a preacher also. Sam Sharp of Jamaica. Slave rebellion in Montego Bay, Jamaica, 1822. That's where we go. When we go to Jamaica, we speak at Sam Sharp Square. They kill him with the Bible in his hand. See? So how many of you going to stand up and, be so into the word of the Most High that they got to kill you with the Bible in your hand? Okay? So that's the sacrifice that they made. They knew they were Israelites, brother. So who's going to sit there and say it just came in 1969 and that's it? And we got the truth for nobody else. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
Yeah, the 51st Passover. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, it never stopped. The Passover never stopped. We stopped it, but it never stopped with the Most High. Yeah. Harriet Tubman. Even Harriet knew she was an Israelite. Underground Railroad, understood she was a Hebrew. She had a Hebrew name named Arminta, meaning lofty or noble. She was from the Ashanti tribe from Ghana. And Bonyoman just showed me a text from a brother who said he can help us in Ghana. Ben, you can bring it out. Okay? Brother just texted. He's watching the summit live right now. And he just texted us. Okay? Toussaint Louverture. The only successful revolution, slave rebellion of all time. That's right. 1791. Toussaint Louverture. These brothers, they knew the Bible, they understood that they were Israelites, all right? Prophet F.S. Cherry, they even called him a prophet, formed an Israelite church in Tennessee, 1866. See, way back in 1866, he had an Israelite church, Israelite school. All right, and then later in 1915, Cherry established the Israelite Church of God in Philadelphia, 1915.
Philly.
We weren't even born in 1915, brother. Okay? So you had Israelite schools all over the place, even by 1915. William Crowdy established an Israelite church in Kansas, Oklahoma, Chicago, and Philadelphia, 1896. In all those areas. Okay? And some of these brothers, those churches are still going. Okay? You got Josiah Ford, established Israelite church in Harlem, the Beth Benai Abraham, 1924. Josiah Ford. Okay, come? Anybody know who Josiah Ford is? Y'all read about Josiah Ford? Okay. He was a brother. He was an Israelite. He used to travel around with, what's his name? Marcus Garvey. Okay, he learned from Marcus Garvey, but went further. Okay, and understood that he was an Israelite, and we were Israelites. Yeah, okay. Rabbi Matthews established the Commandment Keepers, Brooklyn, New York, 1919. Okay, the Commandment Keepers up until late 2000s, they still had their school in Brooklyn, New York, but later on it became dysfunction, and so they sold the building, and then the Commandment Keepers stopped. But still.
Yeah, and Rabbi Matthews was a student of Honor Josiah Ford.
Yeah.
Rabbi Matthews was his student.
There you go. Okay. Warren Robeson established Israelite church in 1917 called the Temple of the Gospel of the Kingdom, or simply the Black Jews in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Warren Robeson. So you can look all these names up, and you can see that they had understood that they were Israelites. Some of them were not Messianic. Okay, we understand that, but still they knew that they were the real Israelites. Come? Okay. Ben-Ami, African Hebrew Israelites, the Hebrew village in Dimona, Israel, in 1969. Ben-Ami. He took about 3,000 or so brothers and sisters and went straight to Israel. But he went by way of Africa and Liberia. And then along the way, people had passed away and stuff. Some people couldn't make it, so they went back to Chicago. They went back. But Ben-Ami said, no, I'm going forward. I'm going to Israel. How many of us had that kind of faith? He went straight there. Understood that he had to do it or nothing else. And so he had faith in the Most High. Okay? So that's Ben-Ami. Rabbi Bibbins, Israeli School of UPK in Harlem, New York, around 1969. We are products, most of us are products of the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That was what they call 1 West 125th Street. Most of us up here. Okay? And so from there, Rabbi Bibbins, out of Rabbi Bibbins came Masharah, Yaakov, Ariah. Okay? The Israeli School of UPK, Harlem, New York. And we are products of that school. 120, yes, you can.
The reason I mentioned Rabbi Matthews was a student of Josiah Ford, because Matthews and Bibbins, they were together at one time. And our elders, Masharah, Ariah, Yaakov, they came out of Bibbins. Now, when they used to sit down and talk to us about the history, they mentioned Rabbi Matthews, but they basically talked a lot about our Bibbins, because they was with him when he was in the streets teaching. So that's why I brought out Honor Josiah Ford, and Rabbi Matthews was his student, and he passed the torch on to Rabbi Matthews.
And Masharah, Yaakov, and Ariah came out of the Commandment Keepers also. They came out of Rabbi Matthews, the Commandment Keepers. Okay, come? So, with that, I just want to read to you this out of the Josephus, out of Book 4, Chapter 8, Section 7, out of the Josephus. Okay? And it says this: let those that live as remote as the bounds of the land which the Hebrews shall possess come to that city where the temple shall be. That's why my gospel was telling about Mount Zion. See, our duty really, even though we're in our captivity scattered about, we're supposed to come to that temple. All right? Where it's going to be. Where it's going to be, Mount Zion. We're supposed to make it there any way we can, especially on those 3 high holy days. Okay, come? Okay, and it says, and this 3 times in a year. Okay? The high holy days we're talking about Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Come? Okay? That they may give thanks to the Most High for his former benefits, and may entreat him for those they shall want hereafter. How about that? What do we want hereafter? Well, we want the kingdom of heaven. That's right. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, we don't want no piece of land. I don't want no piece of America. I don't want no property in America. I don't care. Okay, it's going to be destroyed, brother. Okay, so you get property in America, what you going to do with it when it comes time for your house to destroy it? Okay, so forget about it. All right, so we want the kingdom. Okay, and then it says, and let them by this means maintain a friendly correspondence with one another. See, we're supposed to be friendly with one another. That's right. Not bickering and murmuring and fighting and hatred towards one another. Okay? A friendly correspondence with one another by such meetings and feastings together. See? Meetings, the Masharah Yasharahla Summit. Feastings, when we celebrate the high holy days here, we congregate. But a lot of us like to sit on YouTube and watch it and so forth. But no, congregate. Because where 2 or 3 are gathered, that's Yasharahla. Come? Okay? For it is a good thing for those that are of the same stock. Now, aren't we of the same stock? We're all Hebrew Israelites. Okay? So no Edomites can come. No Hamites can come. No Arabs can come. No Gooks can come. Leave them out. Okay? No coronavirus can come. We don't want that madness. Okay? For it's a good thing for those that are the same stock and under the same institution of laws not to be unacquainted with each other, which acquaintance will be maintained by thus conversing together, right? And by seeing and talking with one another. See? Congregating. You see each other. You're talking to each other. You're getting to know each other. Because we're all familiar, we're all the same stock. We're all Hebrew Israelites. This is what the Yahweh is asking for us to do. Okay? And then it says, and so renewing the memorials of this union, for if they do not thus converse together continually, they will appear like mere strangers to one another. That's what we have now. Come? So we want to keep this going. That's why we have the Masharah Yasharahla summits every, 3 or 4 or 5 months. That's why we do it. Okay? So let's thank the Most High Yahweh for Hashem, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. Okay?
Yeah, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, so well said, well represented, and as well, Elder Barak said, man, communication, gathering is the key, man. So our scripture tell about holy convocation. Even the Mashiach say not going to drink the wine again until when? With us. You understand me? So that's what we're looking forward to in the kingdom of God. But now I'm going to introduce to you some of the officers, man. And I don't know if Barak did say it, but I just want to thank our brothers and sisters from various camps who come to the summit. Some of you first visit. I don't know your camp by name. I see some of you on YouTube or Facebook. So just let me give them a round of applause, man, for the first time.
Hallelujah.
I'm going to bring up the officers then now in terms of we counsel together. They'll tell you. We on the phone. We meet yesterday. You understand me? So when decision to make in terms of even this present summit, we have to tell certain brothers to stay back because the situation and certain drama. We want this to be drama free, man. So that's why it's and all of our duties along with the officers to be drama free, man. Because the scripture says we must do what? Walk circumspect. You understand me? And even some of our peers, they have to told they cannot come here too, right? You can girl up? Huh? Yeah. You understand me? We have to keep counsel and say stay away because we want it to be drama free. Because it's too late in the game for all this folliness, man, filthiness. You understand me? So it's hard for us to judge somebody that's not within the gates of the Masharah, Yasharahla. Because we can say, brother, take a break. You're not with us, so you can do what you feel to do. So that's why we give brothers the privilege who want to be part of this movement that we have going on. Let us reason together, man. Because some can be going on in minister school, and he can make a call to Karash and say, listen, what's your opinion on this? That's how we're supposed to live. You understand me? What if I done something wicked in also David now, which I'm not that wicked though. So for instance, adultery. Because this adultery thing going around in Israel, you won't stop until somebody be put to death. Also David judged me now after the adultery case. But I can say, listen, to hell with that, I'm going out there and start my own camp. That's happening a lot, right? So we want to prevent stuff like that, man. You understand me? Because that's why we have a military. Some brothers going to have to be shot down, man. For the benefit of us. Because we don't think what we do, it affects the whole nation, man. I think Kahan mentioned that thing down in New Jersey, where them, you see, quick then link that shooting to New Jersey to Israelite people, man. He used to study at the Israelite. Listen, he used to be a Christian too. Right. Before I come here, I used to love Jesus. I grew up in Seventh-day Adventist. I used to be a Christian. Fire! So I go to Israel now and I shoot up a couple crackers there. Oh, he used to be an Israelite. But they would never mention that he used to be a Christian. That's right. And that's what brainwashing, that's why he loses their mind, man. So whatever we do, brothers, if Yahweh said, love the Most High with all thy heart, all thy soul, and love your brother as yourself, what you do affect your own brother, man. You don't do it no more. So that's why Paul even tell you, if your brother don't eat meat, don't eat it in front of him to offend him, man. Right. So some of us standing now to hate wickedness. So just stop doing wickedness to make we in the spotlight, man. So anyway, Elder Yakanan, part of the officers. Y'all know Elder Yakanan, he do the security. And the security was excellent this time, man. From all 3 weeks, you understand? And improvement is good, right? It was really it's only if I put on a ninja suit, I could break these barriers today. You understand me? Could intimidate, you don't see me, right? So it was really up to standard. So Elder Yakanan, he's part of the officers. You have Gorla Hebrew. One thing with Gorla, you see his work out. He's out there. You understand me? He put this work in. You cannot disannul him for that. You understand me? You have his men. They came, they support the summit. Remember, it was in Atlanta where it was like 400 people, man. And his man hold it down, man. And I don't even remember if we didn't thank him at the end of the night for that. So just give this a round of applause for that. We always show them. You understand, man? Who else is there? That's it up.
Come on, Todd.
Come on, Tessa. You see? I was shy. Tassilak is all the way from the West Coast. And Tassilak is all the way from the West Coast. Very quiet brother. You soon ain't seen no more. You understand me? But he's diligent brothers, man. And brothers that love the Most High, man. And as I said, those trips there and he'll be there, but you just can't get him in a picture. But he'll be there. He'll be the one, the first one. Give me the phone. I'll take a picture. You all go there. But he's a brother that loved me enough to take care of my safety, man. You understand me? And love my family enough to make sure I go back home to my family safely, man. Right? And then we have our shy. And the difference with these brothers, they have different personality. You understand me? Reason with our shy, you like you're reasoning with somebody on a different level. Only when it come on to reggae music and hip hop music thing, Yasharahla. So we might have to like send him what you call those things? Yeah, we have to send him to Jamaica for a period of time. Exactly. You understand me? But different brothers and Some of these brothers, you ain't gonna see them on social media, man. And that's a good thing in terms of they want to act in a manner where whatever going on out there don't affect the nation, man. And Labrian, he's actually by rank, he's an elder, but he's willing to do security. Barack calling to do video, he's willing to do it. These are the brothers who want to build this nation going forward, man. And who this Yakanan? Kartazaya, his wife is having a baby, so he couldn't make it for this one. So he sent me crying emoji, yeah? What should I say about it? Because this is the thing with this one now, a crying emoji. I look at it like, what am I going to text him back and say a crying emoji? So Kartazaya, I know you're logging on watching. Masazar. So I'm going to give Yakanan the mic. So just give them a round of applause again, bro. And brothers and sisters who want to indulge in marriages, counseling, because we all have problems, can? I have a wife called Ben already complaining on me. You understand me? So we ain't too big for that to happen. You understand me? So these are the men that we set up here, and ourselves, you come to counsel to. That's why the minister, we put a fire on secret sex life, man. Those are stuff you do in the world, brothers and sisters. We're going to be married, but nobody must know. How the hell if I married on Facebook, man? You understand me? And I'll put myself out there. If you meet one sister from Facebook coming to power or whatever, what say they see my tattoo in the box, acting inappropriately, man. Bring the proof forward, man. Because that's a lust demon, man. You understand me? So when you're doing stuff like that now, what you do is counseling. These are the men we set up in different gates, different schools where you can talk for proper counseling. Because we have to do it right now, brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure why.
And guess the worst thing too? You'll ask why other brothers ain't here. We ask brothers, they say they don't want to be a part of it. They tell us no. Brothers tell us they ain't ready yet. Brothers tell us they don't see the purpose of it. So with we, and this is a 14-1, and we're going to move to North Carolina, stronger and better brothers. But the dream and the goal is Mount Zion. The scripture said the saints shall come marching in. Just imagine when the saints go marching in through that airport there. The scripture said they shall be in great fear where no fear is, brother. Esau hate to see this now, man. So you can just give them one round of applause again, my brothers and sisters.
Come on, we can do better. Let's put our hands together for the elders. Put your hands together for you. And most importantly, let's put our hands together for the Most High by Yasharahla. Hallelujah. This is beautiful. Beautiful. I just want to say we have mirrored ourselves as the Officers' Council after the Torah, where it tells us that we're supposed to have judges, officers, priests, and this is how the government is being established according to the Torah. We've also mirrored ourselves after the elders, and we put ourselves in position to serve. That's our main goal, is to serve. We're not here to lord over any men, not here to lord over any women, lord over any children. We're here to serve, and this is what you see before you here. I just want to go through, I am the elder spokesman for the Officers' Council. Again, in relation to the Elders' Council, we have submitted ourselves even under their authority to be subject. There's nothing wrong with being subject to authority. There's rules and regulations, there's balances that we have to go by, all right? So with that being said, we also have Priest Alazar, known as Guerrilla Hebrew. He is in charge on the Officers' Council of the Priest Department. Again, patterned himself after that of Zaquan Kahan. All right, we got, as far as safety, defense, and health, we got Shatar Tazadah, and he's patterned himself that after Zaquan Ash. All right? We got Yasharahla, and his department is that of the scribe. And he's patterned himself after that of Zaquan. We also have Abraham, and he is in charge of counsel. And he has patterned himself that of Zaquan Karash, and also Minister Shalimar. And we also have Karatazaya, which is not presently Shatar Karatazaya, and he has patterned himself after Mathathawa being in the correspondence department. So with that being said, I just want to briefly read to you our mission statement as the Officers Council and our commitment to our nation. Hallelujah. Masharah Yasharahla Officer Council's mission statement. The mission of Masharah Yasharahla Council is to establish the kingdom of the Most High on earth as it is in heaven. And this is our job. By committing ourselves to the compliance and enforcement of laws, statutes, and commandments from the Most High, as it is written in the Torah, as well as adherence to the duties which are documented in our national covenants and agenda of Masharah Yasharahla, placing ourselves in relation to the articles of belief under Yahweh Yahweh Shah. We are a council of able-bodied men that have presented ourselves living sacrifices, willing to labor in the vineyard of Yahweh in the service of our nation. By establishing righteous judgment, operating as a unit along with the directives of Masharah Yasharahla Elders Council, we pledge loyalty and unbiased verdicts as a governmental force for our people. So with that, I say shalom, and I present to you the Officers Council of Masharah Yasharahla.
All right, give another round of applause. That's the Officers Council.
All right. So, Shalom, I just want to read a message a brother just sent me maybe about half an hour ago.
This brother is seeing us live now on Facebook, so he just sent us this text, and this is what he's saying. Go ahead, Up.
So he said, Shabbat Shalom, brother. I'm watching your summit live now. I'm a brother from up here in the New Jersey, Delaware, Philly area. And I'm wondering if you brothers are looking into moving to Ghana. That's the question he's asking. I've been hearing of a lot of brothers and sisters that's relocated over there. I think I heard a brother mention it during the summit, but haven't heard anyone say anything else. I would love to go over with other brothers and sisters of the faith. He said, I know a Benjamin brother over there who has a connect on some beautiful mountainside land for sale overlooking the city of Accra in Ghana. I would love to build with you brothers, and I have been subscribed to your channel, watching your videos for about a year now. Let me know if you are interested. All right, so this brother's been watching the summit.
And I'm from Delaware. I live in Delaware, so Ben, maybe you could give him my number or whatever, and then we'll talk to him. But remember, the Ghanaian government has proposed that all the blacks over here in Americas, they call the year of return, 2019 year of return to Ghana. And so they opened their government up and opened Ghana up to all our people that are over here in America. Okay, because they know when we were sold as slaves out of the west coast of Africa, that, you know, that they have a lot to now deal with us concerning, you know, them selling us into slavery during that time. So they're saying that we can return to Ghana. We want to go over there and get land and all that. They open up their government. You don't need, you know, a whole bunch of, you don't have to become a Ghanaian citizen and so forth. You can just go over there. They already opened their government to our people here in America. You can go over there, get land, get housing and everything, and they'll help you do it. And Ghana is beautiful too, man. It's beautiful over there. So this is what this brother is saying. We had a gentleman who's linked with Damona, come to the house of David. His name is Atua Ben-Ur. He spoke about that at the house of David, okay, not too long ago. So, and then we had, I think, Shalimar, you had yesterday, yeah.
Yes, we had the Queen Verna, right? And Mikael came over to the Light of Zion and spoke about this transitioning and this and what Ghana has to offer people. You know, it's something to look into. You know, as we get closer to our salvation, you know, we get closer to our land. You know what I mean? That, you know, relocation is for all that is possible. You know, consider it, because, you know, we know this is not our rest, right? As much as we try to live clean in this country, we know that the Most High is with us wherever we go. All right, so, you know, the scriptures say that the earth is, you know, the earth is His and the fullness thereof. So don't think you're going anywhere that where Yahweh's not. But, you know, we consider, you know, inhabiting different places and bringing this word all over. So, you know, just to be, you know, full servant to what the elder is saying, it's a consideration that's being put before us in this time. Hallelujah.
Right, let me say this. Well, you got to understand, I know a lot of you may say, move to Ghana. Don't you know our people are still, there's millions of our people still over there in the west coast of Africa? Nigeria, you heard about the Igbo tribe? That's us. The Fulani tribe, that's us. The Ashanti tribe, that's us. We're still there. You think they just put us all on slave ships and transatlantic slave trade and brought us over here? There's none of us left over there? Remember, we ruled Africa too. Timbuktu, that was us. All right, the Mali Empire, that was us. The Ghanaian Empire, that was us. We ruled those. So you say, where was Ham at? Okay? We ruled, remember, everywhere we went, we rose to power, brother. Everywhere we went. Why do you think America's so great? Because we're here. That's why it's great. It's not great because of the white man. The white man's an idiot. He don't know nothing. Most of us say, I'm going to put a fool to rule up over you. He's a fool. You don't know nothing. You know we invented everything. We built the White House. We did everything here for them. Okay? Everything. Even the internet, the iPhones, everything. We did all that. We invented all that. So he don't know nothing. So what I'm saying is, you say move to Africa. Well, yeah, our people are still there. So more than likely over there in Ghana, you're going to be dealing with our Israelites anyway. If you go over there, you're not going to be living amongst Ham. You're going to be living amongst Israelites. And if it is Ham, get the hell away from them. Don't move next to Ham, brother. Please, don't move next to Ham. Okay? But you're going to be living amongst Israelites. Okay? So that just, the brother is still watching. I don't know his name, Ben, but we understand concerning the 2019 year of return. And I think they call it now, it's 2020. So I think they call it now the year of, what do they call it? Beyond return, a year beyond return. There you go. Okay? So that's to give you something else to think about. Okay? Okay, so with that, Shalimar, anything? Okay, go ahead. Can I say this one thing? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben. Yeah.
And if anybody considers that idea or relocating preparation, always check out the details and prepare yourself. Don't just jump on it. Oh, I'm leaving and that's it. All right? I know faith is good, but you must do your research and check out things before you leap into it. All right? I know it's much cheaper and cost of living in Ghana than it is over here in America. All right? Because one brother, he moved his whole family to Turkey, and he said it's way cheaper. You understand? He paid his whole rent for a whole year. You understand? And he said it's much cheaper over in Turkey. You know, but that's the faith he has to move to that part of the world. All right? So whatever you do, like it says, do everything with counsel and proper preparation. All right? Shalom.
Yeah, I just want to. Hello? Testing. I just want to thank these brothers for keeping this. He gave you that list of many brothers and sisters that were aware of the Hebrew heritage, and they have taken on this, and many other brothers with them that aren't even here have furthered this knowledge to where it is right now, and all the other groups that are doing it that aren't even here. But, you know, I thank y'all for holding this down, man. You know, we went through some ups and downs, and I'm here, you there, but now here we are. And we doing this together because, you know where we come from. You know, and we know what we all can do, and we know what Masharah would have wanted us to do.
Hallelujah.
This whole thing happened. And in clearness, Yasharahla, what does he want us to do? And if you ain't doing what Yasharahla want to do, it don't matter what nobody want to do. Because ain't nothing going to get done. So Yasharahla, Masharah's the one. So all these brothers, you know, I commend them, you know, but I got to say, and I commend the young brothers coming up, the Hebrew Officers Council, them brothers are next in line. They coming and they're all reflecting on what we're doing. And we ain't perfect, but they're taking a piece. I'm rolling with that. Then Yasharah's the rest. So don't put everything in everything. Give it to Yasharahla and let him give you what piece that he got you here to do. Okay, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Brother Ainar. Stand up Ainar. He's an elder that really restarted the Mount Zion. I gotta say that. I didn't start it again. I wasn't even thinking about it. He just said, yo, I need you to come out here. He yanked me from across the country. And I said, you're going to come here, we're going to start it. And all the brothers, these are up-and-coming brothers that I would recommend coming behind all of Mount Zion. Yada and Natazab, y'all stand up. You know, and we got, this here right now, Zari's not here. But Ainar, he's an elder in this thing. He's been there for 20 years, give or take. And the arms that he has done to establish Las Vegas, Mount Zion, and arms, you know, he's done for everybody. That's his power, the scripture, his help. He has many hats. And I see, you know, me when I was coming up, and when I was moving like that. And now he just come in and he's moving like that, but bigger. And he's helping brothers out. And all you brothers I see that's doing this, man, none of y'all here, you know, I could talk about you because this brother, he's in it, in his zone. All the schools that aren't here, you know, y'all doing your thing, man. Even the schools that aren't here, we all going to go through our Job test. The brothers who couldn't make it here or could make it but not here, you heard for some reasons, we still love all the brothers because we know you are in the work. But we all going to go through our Job test. Don't think because you're knocked down that Yahweh going to leave you there if you stay in the spirit. Job lost more than most any of us lost. What happened in the end in Job 42? Got it all back double. So we get that Job represents the nation of Israel. Lost it all. Kids died. Can you imagine that? Then his wife, she might as well have been dead the way she was acting to him. She's alive. But I'm wondering, you know, I don't wish that. I'm just saying how it is. But then he got double. So did he get double from the wife, or did he add more, or did she? You know, he got double back in righteousness and joy for the whole family. Wife, everybody, she was happy. Because all she wanted to do was be happy. She married him. But she was mad too. She was going through her moment. So we're all going to go through our moments. Okay? This is a time of Jacob's trouble. And that time just don't mean what you're going through right now. It means since thousands of years ago. We've been going through 70 AD, trouble. Slavery, trouble. And our ancestors did not go through what we went. We're going through less now than what we went through back then. So think the Most High said he turned down the heat a little bit. So appreciate that. Don't think back at the persecution of the Romans on the Jews. We had Jews killing us, our own brothers and Pharisees. And if you just brought out Christ, your head was getting cut off. Now we can go in the street and kill the Caesar. Still go home. Won't get lynched like it was back in slavery. So the Most High is turning this down, but Satan's going to turn it up. He's going to increase it. And we have to get ready. We got to unify. We have to learn all the aspects of what all the brothers from Josephus and all these brothers were telling us. Get ready for these different sections of trouble that come upon us. Satan is introducing new weapons of warfare onto the field of battle. We better learn them or get laid as a casualty. It's war that we're dealing with, but it's spiritual war. You got it. Now, David knew it was spiritual, but what did David have? An army and swords. So do both. Christ said, go get your swords. Brother came with 2. He said, that's enough. So have both, but use and perfect this sword, the sword of spirit, because that's what's going to help you out in the end. The carnal sword, that's just for defense and what we need right now. So let's stay in the spirit and let's each other comfort each other. Live your life, for Christ, because our life is hidden with Christ. Love your brothers and sisters. Practice and rehearse that law. Repeat.
All right. And also, give us a round of applause. We just want to give notice to the different camps that are here. Where the Sons of Thunder at? Sons of Thunder here? Stand up, stand up. Joel, right. That's the Sons of Thunder in Virginia, correct? Atlanta, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
You got the combat camps.
Yeah.
Back in the days, the Sons of Thunder, Brooklyn, and Courage, the Mount Zion.
Yeah.
Back in the days was from Brooklyn. They were the two largest camps out there back in the early 90s.
Right.
The Sons of Thunder and the Mount Zion camp out in Brooklyn.
See? So, a different generation.
Hallelujah.
It's still going on. So give them a round of applause. Mount Zion and Sons of Thunder. Okay. What's the other camp that said? Sons of Jacob? They here? Okay. What's these brothers here in the green? Y'all understand? What camp y'all from?
We are GYC community, gathering your house children.
Say it again.
GYC community, gathering your house children.
GYC community. And where are you from?
Right here in Florida.
Right here in Florida. Okay. Beautiful, man. Give a round of applause. And, okay, the Light of Zion camp. Where's the Light of Zion camp? All over the place? Yeah. All right, give them a round of applause. They're the ones hosting the summit. Beautiful, man. Look at those garments. I want one of those garments. Okay, beautiful. And what's the other camp that's here? Sakari camp. Where's Sakari? Are they all out there? Stand up, Sakari camp. I know it's about 100 of you somewhere. Okay, beautiful. That's Sakari's camp. Okay, and to all the brothers and all the camps, all right, throughout the cities and throughout America, all right, that are in Hamashiach Yahushai, we give honor to them also. Okay. Yes, and also to can't forget to our sisters. That's right. For supporting it, all right? And give much love and respect. Good round of applause. Can't forget our sisters, all right? So shalom. And thank you, our sisters, for coming out and supporting us and for being that pillar of support, all right? Kwame Yasharahla. Okay. Also, again, we want to recognize Kazakia. Kazakia, stand up, Kazakia. Kazakia's camp. You got to name your camp, Kazakia. I forget.
Yeah, that's one of the ex-Mount Zion right there.
Yeah. Okay, ISHBK. Okay, that's their camp. He's in Virginia now, but he did come out of San Antonio in Texas, but now they're in Virginia. Okay, so give them a round of applause.
His father, I gotta say, his father, Ariella, brought me into the truth in August 1988. To see him and his father, Haram, bless his soul, and brother Rakha Amath, they were on Nostrand and Fulton, the three Jakes, just chilling. I used to live right down on Halsey, and I used to come up on the Sabbath. I said, who are these? I thought they were Arabs or something. I just kept going. And then I seen them, the main camp down on 44th. I used to work down there, and I was doing my artwork and cartooning. I see them on 42nd and 34th. Who are these Arab guys talking this stuff? Then I saw that they were really Bible teaching people with turbans on, and I didn't know nothing about it. But Ariella was the one who just broke down Deuteronomy 28 chapter. And I said, I bought a Bible, I bought all the tapes on the table. I came back, I bought them all. I had nothing to buy. And I studied and read everything. I said, go and sit down on the ground every Saturday and just listen to that brother break down. I said, give me some more Deuteronomy 28 again. And Rob would bring it out and be funny about it. I thought it was funny. But his son right here, young Kazakia, he's young but the big old afro, always smiling like he's smiling right now. He's just always happy about everything. Not gonna say happy, but it's always smiling, you know what I'm saying? But brother just had a glow all the time, and he always come to camp. He's always up in there doing what he gotta do, and then he go back with his mom in the West Coast. And I remember him from that time, but his father was the one who was a very powerful unifying force. Brothers just wanted to go and do for him in righteousness, you know, and he brought a lot of new things, innovations in the school. He brought in other schools like SOT then, all that just kind of sprouted from there. And then I was doing the signs, we did the podium and all that. Then that spread to all the camps. A lot of things Ariella did, but I gotta give Ariella for the spirit to work on him through Yahweh Yasharahla to wake me up and just, helping bring this brother up and him helping me, watching that brother move. All the brothers in Mount Zion and the whole school, pieces of them and the Holy Spirit just added to us. And they can say the same thing. The Holy Spirit works in different administrations, but all what? One body, one spirit. Remember that. It's not all yours, not all mine, not on somebody else. And the truth is fluid. Just grab it and ask the Spirit and use it and bless others with it and share it. Do what Yahweh Shai did. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, like the brother said about Ariella, I had mentioned him earlier. We will always remember him. He's the brother that started the travel and started building schools before any brother started building schools in here. Okay, and I personally believe that the tribulation, Jacob's trouble, is really going to bring a lot of the Israelites and camps together. When we start getting the same treatment, the same persecution, you can't run to nobody else but each other. Because I used to teach in Rikers Island, the prison system in New York, fully girded. I was working for a volunteer service. Used to sit on the brothers' beds, teach the adolescents. Used to teach in the men prison at OBCC. And the split had already went down, the House of David, and you still had 125th. But there was brothers that I used to sit in class with coming from 125th Street, come to my class, and the first thing they do when they come through the door, how about show me y'all shouting like a thumb? And they embrace. So it wasn't no what y'all teaching or what this and what's that. It wasn't no separation. See, because they behind those walls, they behind those bars now. When these different brothers came through the gates and saw me, we were together as one. So when the persecution and when Jacob's trouble arise, that would be the Most High sword to bring us together as a unified force, as a nation. That's what I believe. That's what I see.
Hallelujah.
Okay?
Yeah, there's one more thing. Next summit, most high willing, we'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Maybe late July, maybe early August. Raleigh's on the map. It's right in North Carolina, done, y'all. You can get there, brother. All right, it's not hard to get to. I want to see as many people, because you're right in Virginia. You can walk there, brother. All right, so I want to see as many people there supporting us. Late July, maybe 1st of August. All right, we're going to try to make it double. And we're going to get you back, Shalomar. Don't worry about that. We're going to get you back. We're going to get the light of Zion back. But all praise to the Most High. Want everybody to show up. Want everybody to be there to support it. We're going to have a good time. And we're going to keep this thing going in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh's camp will be hosted.
Hallelujah.
All right, let's give another round of applause for all the elders from the Masharah Yasharahla. All praises be to the Most High for giving us this glorious night. So at this time, we have concluded the Masharah Yasharahla meeting. We went through all the offices. You know we're offering. We know that we need help. We know we need assistance. All those that have that willing heart that want to get involved, come see any individual brother that you saw had a certain office that spoke to your talents. Go see that brother on the sidebar, and we could work together, network, and possibly multiply this work throughout all Yasharahla. Hallelujah.
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 Kum Yasharahla. Kum Yasharahla. Right. So at this time we're gonna have intermission. There's going to be food served, and we're going to get ready for showtime. All right? So next up is the Hebrew Israelite concert. We have a ton of talent here, so stay tuned for what we're going to bring forward. Hallelujah. All right, we're going to send the prayer up and over the food. So we're going to hand it over to Yasharahla. Right? So Almadia Wapanya, Yerushalayim, stand and face Jerusalem. And come, we'll get there. We'll send the prayer at this time. Come.
He came up out of his seat. Yes.
Yes.
Who got the, where that chauffeur that you had? The chauffeur you had in your hand.
Oh, it was it.
Testing. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's right there. It's right here. Oh, no, that's not it.
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Yahawashi,
Shemai, Lenawa, Haitha, Shalat, Ma'akaala, Walahayim, La, Shema'il, Yasharahla, Barak, Yasharahla, Rapah, Yasharahla, Shema'il, Barak,
Rapah,
Bahashem,
Yahawashi, the water,
Aman,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Yahawashi,
Shemai,
Lenawa,
Haitha,
Shalat,
Ahabim,
Rabium, Shalawamium, Rabium, Barakium, Rahayim, Alium, Rabium, Shaqualium, Lachium, Nachiwa, Lahabiat Sapayim, Bahashem, Yahawashi, the water, Aman, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Barak, Ma'akolnawa, Washatanawa, the water, Damyad, Aman, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Barak Lanawa, Yasharahla, Wahabiat Sapayim,
Yasharahla, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yasharahla, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh power is one. Enjoy, brothers and sisters.
Hallelujah.
Don't forget to come up and sign this book and put your talents on here like I told you earlier.
Yeah, all that's gonna get done. We gotta go back to the other missing parties. We all here. Muthafiwa, Elder Kahan. All right, we're gonna serve the food, women and children first. All right, so you show up there, you lot them, goes up first, and then the Akim will follow. Women and children go first, and the Akim will follow. All right.
Shut it down, right? How you shut it down?